Retro toys and comics we adore. TV and movies, let's explore. Sunday Night Geekery, it's the place to be. With Marc D, with a C, let your nerd run free. Old school vibes and stories untold. Tune in, tune out, let the magic unfold.
Hey everyone, welcome to Sunday Night Geekery number 190. Well, we're getting up there in age, so but glad to be with everyone Sunday night. It's not Saturday night, Mark. Come on. Sorry to be a couple minutes late, but that's par for the course trying to get everything together, and it was out tonight, out to dinner. But so we'll have some foodery pictures. But great to see everyone. Let's say hi to everyone. And of course, we've got Tim here with iHeart Clobbering Time. So, of course, let's always remember our good buddy Mike.
It's clobbering time! I just love clobbering time.
And Steve is here, so great to see Steve. And I think he's watching Maddie this week, so I don't think he can come on the program. So it's not going to be as good of a show because Steve won't be here, but maybe he can pop in. I don't know. I think he's got Maddie this week though. And hail to Gap After Dark. I hope you had a great weekend. Claude Salin is here. Great to see you, Claude. Wait, I was listening to the theme song. Hey, the dead man is here, and everyone's handles are screwed up again, of course, too. So, and Dadman is here. He's at Waffle House on an emergency. God damn it, Dad man.
Never that way.
God damn it, Mark. Jeez.
You went to Waffle House and you didn't bring your streaming gear? Come on, I want to see pictures. Yep. But remember, important safety tip, always make sure you cook your bacon fully, because I posted that on Twitter, came across an article. And I don't like my bacon extra crispy, I got to say, but you got to reach a safe temperature. So poor guy was not cooking his bacon enough. He ended up with worms in his brain, basically, from not cooking his bacon enough. So, but to get that horrible thought out of your mind, we'll go with this picture of bacon. Don't think of what happened to that poor guy. But yeah, it was a brutal article. He was fine. He ended up making it, but he wasn't sure if he'd end up 6 feet under. Yep. So he was almost yeah, come up with a bad pun, but yeah, it was pretty serious. But yeah, so cook your food to safe temperatures, please. Yep. And hi again to Brian Hepburn. Hey, Brian. Yep, I heard that. Ran late tonight. So yeah, I hope everyone had a great weekend. It's always fun to cap off the week with you guys and get ready for Monday and getting back to work, right? So a lot of entertainment news to talk about tonight. A lot of movies, a lot of shows. We got some enabling, some Star Trek tricorder news. So some good stuff. Good stuff tonight. We always have good stuff, right? Right, guys? Yeah. So well, let's look at the box office for the week, because we always love talking entertainment here. So let's check out the box office mojos and see what they've got going on. Latest week in review. So looks like K-pop Demon Hunters actually won the week. So let me share my screen here. Ooh, my avatar got pretty big there. Oh, that's scary. So I'm not into that K-pop stuff. God bless them. It's pretty popular, but a slow week at the movies. It's everyone's getting back to school and summer's over in the Northeast. Of course, I think kids down south and other parts of the country, are back already, or some kids start early in August. But so slow week for that K-pop Demon Hunters. And I guess they were doing, was that a special like sing along that they had in the movie theater just this weekend? I think it was something like that. But yeah, August, you can see, look at these totals here. Memorial Day, of course, it depends on what movie's opening, but 327, the start of the summer. God, I wish I could go back to the start of the summer. So nice. Yep. And Brian, I like K-pop Demon Hunters. Yeah, I'll have to watch that. The song is in my head. Yeah. So you can see here, yeah, start of the summer. I can't. What opened Memorial Day weekend? Let's see. What was the big? Oh, Lilo and Stitch, of course. A Mission Impossible, 80 million. Thunderdolts, Final Destination, Bloodline. So yeah, if we go back to that, so 140, above 100 million. Math is hard, but yeah, we can at least see that it's above it's above 100 there. So but
That class is tough.
but when we get to August, I guess this must be when kids are going back. I'm guessing kids are going back to school in combination with what movies are out. But by August 15th, summer's over. Good times good times are not happening as much, right? School's not out for the summer, to quote Alice Cooper. So yeah, so 82 and 68. So yeah, so way down. So K-pop Demon Hunters, 18 million. Yeah, it's a Netflix movie, and I think it's on, just as I said, I think it was just for this weekend. Let me go Google that and check. Let's check that here. K-pop Demon Hunters. I think it's just in it gives Netflix its first box office win. Here, let's check this article. Of course, K-pop is insanely popular. So let's see here. Netflix has the first #1 box office title in the streaming company's 18-year history, thanks to the sensation of K-pop Demon Hunters. Rival Studios on Sunday estimated K-pop Demon Hunters led all films over the weekend with 16 to 18 million in ticket sales. So interesting. Yep. Following a dominating release as one of the most popular Netflix shows ever, the streamer put the film into 1,700 theaters for sing-along screenings. That's what I thought. I heard that advertised. Yep. Saturday and Sunday. Studios are able to accurately estimate ticket sales for all releases on Sunday morning. So the uncommon nature of K-pop Demon Hunter releases means a wider variance. Some estimates are as high as 20 million. So you could watch this for free on Netflix. Well, I shouldn't say for free, but with your Netflix subscription, you could watch this. So hey, JT Kirk, great to see you. So this was super smart. Yeah, so they got people to go in to the movie theater, with their kids, obviously, and they had to sing along, so no one was mad, when like the chicken jockey scene, it's a sing along. Yep. So it's amounted to a victory lap for K-pop Demon Hunters, arguably the biggest hit of the Hollywood summer, an ironic success for Netflix, whose emphasis on streaming, not theatrical release, upended the movie industry. Yeah, so they won the week. Yeah, putting the movie in the movie theaters. Yep. Another sore spot for Hollywood. The film was developed and produced by Sony Pictures, which sold it to Netflix. Not all exhibitors went along. AMC declined to show the movie. Oh, interesting. So I wouldn't have been able to see it around here because I think every theater around here is AMC, or unless I drive like a half hour. But that didn't stop Netflix from claiming the box office title as its more traditional competitors typically own. Yep. Completely unique 2-day musical event. Yeah, so it's a special run, like when they put Star Trek the motion picture out in movie theaters. God, I couldn't wait to go see that. So I saw that back in the theater. The only screw up was they said it was in the IMAX theater. We all were like 10 of us are waiting for Star Trek the motion picture to start in IMAX, and this is one of like a real IMAX theater. The screen's like 60 feet tall. And unfortunately, it was in like a smaller theater, but the way they advertised it, and I didn't pay attention. A bunch of us didn't. So then actually someone from the theater came and grabbed us, and we went in to see it in a regular theater, but I had missed like 20 minutes, or we'd all missed. They had like an intro to the movie, which I've since seen because it's on the DVD. But yeah, so it's smart to do these special events, and especially a family thing like this. So great idea. Yep. Yeah, so it's currently Netflix most watched animated original film. Wow. So of course Sony did it, they bought it, but yeah. Everyone predicted Netflix was going to go away eventually, or lose out to all the other streamers, or lose to Disney, or they didn't have original content. And everyone said, they're not going to be around, they're not going to do that well, and just look how they're doing, right? So yeah, it's just amazing how that company has performed, and they stay on top. So the hard hit weapons maintained its strength, bringing in $16 million, and Freakier Friday got about almost $10 million. And two films are bright spots as the box office had a rather quiet finish for the summer. Both films that premiered simultaneously earlier this month had a minimal 36% drop from last weekend. FF earned $6 million. The movie enjoyed a strong $118 million debut, but has experienced a steady decline. So let's check out the top 10. I guess this is for the weekend. The weekend? Well, where's K-pop? I guess so. K-pop is number 1. Weapons, 16 million. Freakier Friday, FF, Bad Guys, Nobody 2, Superman, Honey Don't, Naked Gun, and Jurassic World, which I did see. I just finally watched it. That's pretty darn good movie. We'll talk about that a little bit too. Oh, and Dadman was that was fake news. He's not at Waffle House. Come on, Dadman, making us all jealous. Yep. And then now you find out you're not there. Yep. Hey, Phantom. Yep. Snow White, Thunderbolts, not Cap 4, not FF Missteps combined. It's slightly more than the Indian movie, which is at 1.9 billion. Yeah, L chat. Yeah, Nenza too. Yep. Well, that's an interesting article. I don't know why they don't list that as the top 10 here. It's 16 and 18 million, but I guess that's I don't know who did the spreadsheet of this list, but come on, that should that's the articles about this, and it's not on the list. Yeah, so they say here, yeah, weapons. Yeah, so come on, who wrote this? You get an F here. Come on, but so I guess those are the K-pop demon hunters. Yep. I guess I'll have to watch it. Yep. Yeah, it's probably a perfect movie for that tween age. Yep. So I had to watch High School Musical over and over and over a million times. So I guess yeah. So I guess were they going to extend this? They're going to do this next weekend. I mean, it's printing money, right? So Weapons is up to 115 million. So let's look at the worldwide. Let's see where. So this is Nenza 2, almost 2 billion. Lilo and Stitch. Oh, hey, Tom is here. I'll catch up to the chat here. Great to see you, Tom. Yep. TNMT technically beat F1 and a few others last weekend, but they didn't list it. Yeah, well, that was a special release, right? I'm sure Tom was there to see that, but yeah, that's crazy. They didn't list that yet. Oh, you didn't see? I'm not sure which one you didn't see. TMNT made 3.3 million last week, and that wasn't a wide release. Yep. We saw Jurassic Park. Yeah, I thought Jurassic Park was pretty. I mean, it's pretty good. It's a popcorn movie, right? I mean, and you're stuck looking at Scarlett Johansson the whole time, right? I mean, she's so damn gorgeous, even though she hates it that you admit that she's good looking. It's like, well, you can act and you're gorgeous, right? So, it's a tough. Not everyone has that combination. So she was annoyed, I guess, at some point. If you read some of the articles that people were casting her because of her looks. It's like, come on, it's called Hollywood. It's called fantasy, right? And TMNT beat Jurassic World last weekend too. Wow. And Tom with the salute. Yep. So I saw it in theaters. It was not listed then or now. That's crazy. Yeah. Oh, great. Courtney's here. Hey, Courtney.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, how are you doing? How's everyone doing?
Good night. Yep.
Can you hear me all right?
We can hear you really goodly.
Really goodly. That's awesome. Hi to everyone in the chat. I'm on my headphones on my way home. I'm almost home, so I figured I'd pop
You
in.
sound good. Yep.
Cool. All right.
Finding My Way Home. Good song.
Hi, Tom.
I like the live version of that song. It's my favorite. One of my favorite songs, actually. Yep. But and Tom says they extended another week and announced TNMT 2 next year. Oh, cool. We love turtles here. Yep. And Pop Culture Minefields here. Hey, great to see you. Just drop in a like and listen as I work. Well, I hope I help you work. I hope I don't put you to sleep. That would be bad, right? If you're trying to do work, but Mark and wouldn't be Courtney. Well, Courtney's here, so you're safe, right? Maybe I'd put you to sleep. Yeah. Yeah. Did you see? Have you seen any movies lately, Courtney? Or
Nothing new. But I
okay.
heard, are you talking Red Sonja? Is there a new Red Sonja out?
There's a new Red Sonja come. You can download it, or not download it, but rent it next week. Yep.
Isn't
I guess
that,
technically
wasn't that
download it.
Brigitte Nielsen?
That was Brigitte Nielsen in the was
In
it
like the
90s or
80s.
80s?
It
Yeah,
was the 80s. I was a
when she
little
was
girl.
married to Stallone around the time.
Yeah.
Yep.
I remember
So
her. And I
yeah.
know the character, obviously, because
Yeah,
she's a
yeah.
redhead, a sexy redhead.
Well, redheads are the best, right? Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
And yeah, so of course I married one, so
Oh, you're married to a redhead too? That's so
of
funny.
course, yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
technically what they would call, I guess they call us daywalkers or something. I looked like Children of the
Daywalkers.
Corn blonde as a kid, but I have the redhead gene, and my hair is
Yeah,
obviously
yeah.
not as red as I dye it. But my mom is a
Yeah.
very redhead,
Oh,
very
there
red.
we go. So I knew I
Yeah.
liked you. Hey, and Tom is here. Awesome. Hey, Tom.
I
Yay.
literally only have a few minutes. Andre dumped a bunch of work on me, but
Oh no, good. All good. All good. Glad you stopped in to say hi. Yep.
Hey, Tom.
how you guys doing?
Great. Yeah. So so how was the screening of TMNT? Did a lot of people there, or
At the one I went to, not really.
yeah.
But I've heard and seen other people post pictures of, a bunch of other stuff, or a bunch of other places where it was packed. And like I said, it pulled in 3.3 million last weekend. I don't know how well it's going to do this weekend. It hasn't showed up on any charts because for some reason they just won't.
That's
report
weird.
it. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's weird because the other Fathom movies they have in the past, like Star Wars and the other ones. So I don't know why this one's being just kind of like ignored.
Buried.
But like last week, it would have popped in somewhere at like 7 or 6, somewhere in there, right under Superman and maybe one other movie last week. And then this week, I don't know how well it did yet, but yeah, so we'll see. But it did so well this last week. They added this weekend, and then they announced that they're doing Ninja Turtles 2 next year.
Great.
So, I mean, even Spinal Tap did really well for the Fathom events early this year. So
I want to
like
see
10
that.
million?
Goes this year, yeah.
Did you see Spinal Tap, Tom?
I've seen the original. I didn't get a chance to go see the re-release in theaters. Somebody did send me a clip of the what they showed as far as the extra stuff.
Intro.
Yeah, but it was just a clip from Spinal Tap 2. But Spinal Tap 2 opens.
Oh, it hasn't opened yet. That's
The new one comes out in September.
Gotcha. I thought for some reason it was already
And I
out.
think I'm getting to see it like a day or two before it comes out. But other than that, I
Nice.
get to see it much earlier. But that's just because they're doing an IMAX fan event. You can go see it. Anybody can, as long as you
Oh,
have
I can go
IMAX.
see it.
Yeah, so. And they're supposed to have like a Q&A deal or something like that with it too. I have no idea how that's going to work.
How are they going to do that? Or just make it live, right? Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. It's supposed to be a live Q&A. They did do a clip that was like a Q&A thing online, so I wonder if it'll be anything like that or if that's just a clip from it. I don't know how live.
From what I've heard,
will
it
be.
looks like it's going to be pretty funny.
Oh, it looks funny from all the stuff, but
Yeah.
this is that clip thing I was talking about they put out there this last week that I wonder if this is what the Q&A will be like here. If you want to share my screen when you get a chance.
All right, put on your thinking caps.
1871.
No, let him ask a question first.
Me.
Well, that was well under 11 seconds.
The key to great stage presence is the proper vegetable in the proper location of the proper trouser.
Well said. Play it loudly and then run.
I'll show you.
That way.
Got his pants.
The absence of death. Just thought of that. The absence of subtlety.
False rock and roll. Moisturize.
Moisturizer.
Jazz players put wax paper between their legs. We don't.
Just close your eyes and go, you.
The heartbreak of a cancelled gig is most easily dealt with by heavy drinking. Don't join the band.
Don't do the crime if you can't do the time.
That's
I can't
awesome,
wait.
man.
That's
mean,
the meaning of
it's
life.
so-
The absence of death.
What is it? Put wax paper between your legs? That's the weirdest thing I've ever heard. Do you know who that kind of reminded me of? Is the Rock and Roll Rowdies.
Yeah,
If you ever watch those guys, they're funny. On a 70s
And hail
channel.
to Keely Chow and Captain Infinity Time Travel Police.
Anyone know?
Well, wax paper, they wax themselves, I guess, right? the guys wax themselves. Yeah.
So funny.
But no, I mean, just the the trailers for that just seems so freaking funny that didn't they have a special years ago? Big Bottom, didn't they have like it wasn't a
They
sequel,
did a
but-
reunion. They did a second album called Break Like the Wind. Where I think that's what the reunion was revolved around. They've done a few like appearances and specials throughout the years, but that was the closest thing to a sequel was that reunion special, and I think that was like an hour-long deal, and they did like
I
a
never
concert
saw that.
deal. Yeah.
It was about like 10 years ago or something.
Oh gosh, more like 20
or more
plus.
20.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's
like,
probably
no,
why. I was
More
probably
like 30 years ago now that I think about it.
in the early 2000s or something.
And again, like I said, they've gotten together for little bits and pieces and things here and there.
Yeah.
But like, it's been a while since they've done anything like. But like the crew, the group that did the original Spinal Tap, sans, Rob Reiner, and added like Eugene Levy and what's her face from Beetlejuice, Catherine. What's her name? Catherine O'Hara.
Catherine O'Hara. Okay, yeah.
They added like those guys to the mix, and they started doing movies like Best in Show and
Mighty
Wind, and I mean they're basically the same things, and it's the entire same people. And that's what I loved about Mighty Wind is they got the guys back together, like that one group, the whatever the hell their name was, I forgot, but they are Spinal Tap, but they're just completely
I
different
only
characters.
saw that once, and I never made that connection when I saw that movie. But Best in Show is hilarious, and Eugene Levy in that is so funny.
All the main guys are in that too, but they play like different parts. Like Michael McKean is like the gay husband to the one character in Best in Show.
I would have never made those connections.
And
I have to go back
Christopher
and watch
Guest,
now.
he plays the hound dog guy where he's talking about all the nuts. There's so many nuts in the world, like pine nuts, corn nuts, peanuts. He's just going
Is he the
on and
Basset
on.
Hound guy?
Yeah, he's got like a bat. He loves the Basset Hounds or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I can't
Break
remember
Like the
who
Wind was,
Harry Shearer played,
92.
but yeah, Break Like the Wind. That was '92, so that was their reunion deal. Okay, so and so that was when they were on The Simpsons, and that's when they did that special. Yeah.
Wow. That's BM for me, before marriage. Yep.
And I think I actually have that special on an imported Blu-ray of the movie, so it's like not even. I mean, it's not like readily available anywhere.
It's like a
that I know
special
of.
feature or like they added
it was like an hour. Like it's almost like another documentary thing, and I think they even got Rob Reiner back for that and all that business. Is Marty DeBerge and stuff, but because they keep bitching about him, like they hate him.
Yeah. And hey, Lenrod, that's actually Lenrod there. Not
That was like I think I remember
Alec
when they did the whole announcement thing. It was like this is part of the settlement.
I just settlement. Yep. But God, it was such a fun movie, Spinal Tap, and this looks like it's gonna be just as good. And
well, have you guys seen all the deleted scenes from the original Spinal? There's almost a whole
there's like
movie.
hours. It's like almost no. I have the Criterion Collection. That was my most expensive DVD ever.
There's that has like an hour, but then there's also like a 4-hour cut of the movie I have somewhere. It is
I have
crazy.
that, yeah, or you sent it to me.
Yeah,
or
I think I sent it to you. It is like, Jesus, 4 hours.
Well, the Criterion Collection, I gotta pull. I've got that ripped to my hard drive, but I think they've got a ton of stuff on that Criterion Collection, and it had gone out of print. And I'm like, I've got to have
They're
Spinal
doing it
Tap.
again now in the 4K, and I think they're rebringing back all those special features. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Criterion. Yeah, Criterion usually they do a great job. And I bought that. I think I bought the DVD for like $150 on eBay or something obnoxious, because it was out of print for years. And
Honestly,
one of
I
the things.
used to have it. I don't know what the hell I ever did.
I have it under I keep it like under the TV. Like, of course, I wouldn't watch it because it's standard def now. But the special
the
features
movie
don't
is
matter.
it's not the movie, it's the special. I don't know. I know the Blu-rays and stuff carried over a lot of the deleted scenes and stuff, but
yeah,
that's not all of them that are in that deleted scenes. Like that package, it collects like an hour more. But like if you figure that the movie's a 4-hour cut, that means like there's a whole nother close to another hour that's cut out of there that's in that extended cut.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
By the way, you've been rated just so you know.
Oh, I was looking away from my screen. Who rated me?
I think it's from Steph, My Nerdy Home.
Oh, awesome.
I think, but you might want to read in the chat. I'm sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to give
Steph,
them credit where
no,
credit's
thank
due.
you. That's Don. Hey, Don. How's it going? Yep. Steph, My Nerdy Home. Yep. Awesome. Yep. We'll always appreciate the raid here, as long as it's not bug spray. Hail to everyone. Yep.
But yeah, I mean, people, they're talking about a little bit in the chat here too about how, it takes good editing to make a movie. And, oh yeah, the final film is like 80 some minutes long. So I mean, they chopped out a lot. But I mean, that deleted stuff is so good. They could have made a whole nother movie.
Yeah.
They probably should have.
They should have. Like, it was just that funny. Like, there's this whole bit where they go to the zoo and they're just like waxing about the fucking gorillas. And they're like, gorillas are the only species besides humans to have been able to figure out how to make bread. Yes, they're super eating culture.
I can only imagine them talking about snakes or reptiles.
Yeah, so the cutting room floor, 98 minutes of outtakes. Spinal Tap, the final.
So they added some more to it, or maybe that's the whole version.
Return of Spinal Tap, excerpts from Return of Spinal Tap, 1992.
Okay, so they're not going to have the whole thing; they're just going to have excerpts from it.
2009 Back from the Dead album interviews, trailers.
See, that I've never seen any of the stuff from. That's what you were probably thinking of, Mark. They did do a reunion back then, and what they did is they redid all their classic songs in like new versions. So I have that album.
Okay.
But they did like Big Bottom is like a slowed down jazz version and stuff like that.
Right.
It's all experimental stuff. Yeah.
I'm trying to find out if they list what was on the original version of the Criterion Collection. Let me see if I can find that.
All that stuff, but some of the newer stuff and the reunion stuff, I think, like the deleted scenes, but I think there was only like an hour, I think, initially. Maybe it was 70 some minutes, but like, yeah.
Let me see. I can go grab it. It's under my TV, but I think this was
hidden.
Well, yeah, no, but it's like a treasured possession. It's like, now it's on. We can buy it on Amazon for Blu-ray. Oh, then they had a Blu-ray. Oh no, this is the new one that's going to be released. Yeah. Okay.
Well, they had what you have there in the DVD, and like I said, I swear I used to have it. I don't know what the hell I did with it. But
I'll have to go grab it. Yep.
It's just basically a rip off their old Laserdisc, is what it is.
Yeah. Oh, here it is, 1984. Here, I found it on Fleabay. Let me bring this. Oh, let's see.
I love the term Fleabay.
Yeah, they're gonna. Oh, that's too small of a picture. Here we go. Let me pull this over. Open image in new tab. There we go. Come on, Mark, you can do it. Okay, so this is the DVD. Pretend this is the one from under my TV. So this is what you want to see. Yeah. So this was the double-sided disc. So Side 1, 82-minute movie. Track 1, Spinal Tap's Christopher Guest. Track 2. Oh, that's the audio, the commentary. This is the commentary. So two tracks of commentary, and 2 hours of bonus material include original industry and theatrical trailers, 20-minute demo reel, Spinal Tap: The Final Tour, the shorts, Heavy Metal Numbers and Hellhole, Cutting Room Floor, more than 1 hour of deleted scenes, abandoned subplots, and alternate takes. Yeah.
So that's the old one. I think it was only like 60 some or 70 minutes of deleted scenes. So I think they added some more to it. And is that original? Now the Final Tour, that was the original short film the movie's based on. Is that on this disc too? Because I don't think that's anything that. See, a lot of the stuff that's on the Criterion disc has never been carried over again, aside from the deleted scenes.
Let me.
Because that other commentary has never been brought back again too.
The one that's on the Criterion Collection?
One of them, but yeah, one of them has been, but the other one hasn't. I think the one that they do as the band has been, but I think the actual commentary never has been.
So let's see. 3 audio commentaries featuring Rob Reiner's.
So they even added a commentary, yeah.
So I guess they added. Oh, the editors.
Okay, so what I think happened is both of those commentaries might not be on the other discs. See, because that's the thing with Criterion is whenever they do commentaries or specials that they produce, nobody else gets a hold of them for some reason. They hang on to them. So they probably produced a new commentary for the other ones. So now you get all 3 of them here is probably what it is.
Yeah, let me go side by side here. Let's see if I can do this. Ooh, look at this special effects we have on Sunday Night Geekery. Oh, wow, we got a super chat here. And a lot of people are here. So let me catch up. But yeah, that'll show you what's on there. But let me, as I'm looking away from the screen, I apologize.
Sorry, guys. I'll just be one moment. I'm just checking out.
I wasn't even sure if you were
Yeah,
aware of this, Mark, about the remastering of the anthology, Beatles anthology. That's what Dead Man's talking about.
Oh, that's they're remastering it to get using the new Peter Jackson tech, or
okay. So what they're doing? Go ahead and read the super chat, and then I'll.
Let me read the super chat. Yep. So thank you, the Dead Man. It says the other day you did a live stream talking about the remastered "Free as a Bird," and I've been listening to it over and over since. Thanks for making me aware of that. But of course, we got to play some clips. I don't have any Beatles clips, but
okay. Well, what I got on the info is that they dropped a trailer. They're redoing for the anniversary of the anthology. They're re-releasing the anthology with a new fourth part, so it has a new part 4. And on the fourth one, it has a bunch of unreleased stuff from before. Some has been released on bootlegs and other places, but they're remastering it all. And then on a few of the, they did "Free as a Bird" and "Real Love" back when they did anthology. So they're having those versions. The original versions are on there that they did back then, but now they also took the new technology that Giles Martin has been using to remaster
the new releases,
remix the new releases. He remixed "Free as a Bird" with the new AI and all that stuff. You can hear John Lennon for the first time, and it doesn't sound like he's in a goddamn tunnel 10 miles away.
Oh, underwater on "Free as a Bird," right?
He sounds like he's right there with the rest of them. It is
holy crap.
It is fucking stupendous. It's like, holy shit. That's
a good song.
It's an amazing fucking song, and I can't wait to hear "Real Love" because "Real Love's" on there. And they also, of course, threw on "Now and Then," as it should be, right? So all of it's been brought together now in this big, nice package. Now the albums. Now, if you want the LP, you're gonna have to fork out like $350 plus shipping and handling.
I just threw that out like $300. I just guessed.
Yep, $350 plus shipping and handling. Now the CD set is a lot more affordable.
CDs. Oh, more affordable. Okay.
Yeah, that one's only like $100 and some bucks. So like you get it's like 8 discs all together, and I don't know if it comes with the book or not, but they're doing a book, and then plus to add to that, in I think it's in October or November, or maybe it's November. They're dropping the original Beatles anthology, the full 8-hour version, not the truncated TV version, on Disney Plus, completely remastered by Peter Jackson, with an additional episode. So the final episode will cover them doing
the new stuff,
"Free as a Bird," "Real Love," and "Now and Then." So yeah, at that session, yeah. So I can't wait. So that's gonna be neat. I mean, that's cool.
That sounds really cool. Yeah. I was listening. That sounds really cool. I love Peter Jackson too.
Well, as that
Beatles documentary, if you've ever seen that, it is the definitive Beatles documentary, like the full 8-hour version or 10-hour version, whatever it is. Yeah.
Are you talking about Get Back? Wait, what are we talking about?
No, I'm talking about the anthology. Now, I don't know if you remember this. Back in 1995, so it would have been, this is the anniversary, ABC did a 3-night special where they did this documentary called The Anthology on the Beatles.
Yep.
And when they released it on home video, they released the full version, which is like somewhere between 8 and 10 hours. I can't remember. It's like 8 cassettes. Like it was long.
It was awesome to watch because like it just sliced up the band's history into, just went through the whole history of the Beatles, and it was like every night, and you'd watch it on TV. I remember watching it with my parents, when that came out, and everyone wanted to watch. It was a huge.
Actually,
hit.
I have the DVD box set. I'll go grab it.
And then they sold a ton of albums and cassette tapes. But while Tom's grabbing that, let me play a couple. Of course, we get for Dead Man. Thank you. That was awesome. $10 super chat. Let's play some awesome Spinal Tap clips here. So let me go to my. Of course, now it messed up. There we go. Let's. Whenever I switch scenes here, let me go to Spinal Tap here. I know I got some good Spinal Taps. Let's see here.
The problem may have been that there was a Stonehenge monument on the stage that was in danger of being crushed by a dwarf. All right? That tended to understate the hugeness of the object. Really?
You don't do heavy metal in Dublin, I mean,
in what? In what?
In Dublin. I mean, you can't.
In Dublin? She means that? Dolby, all right? She means Dolby.
She means
play that clip.
Oh, here, let's do the metal detector one.
Do you have any artificial plates or limbs?
Not really, no.
Would you,
Yeah, do it.
Would you mind? There's a lot of pressure to be a rock star. But thank you again for that.
Yeah. So then they released this on video and DVD, which is the full.
Big and Tom here. Yep.
Like
Tom,
on DVD,
who's
I think
your
they
favorite
managed.
Beatle? After.
I'm kind of partial to Paul. I mean, I like them all for different reasons, but so they're redoing this remastered on Disney Plus in November, and then they're adding an extra episode to it. So yeah, and it's kind of similar to what they did when they originally released it, because they released, the 3 anthology sets on CD, and you had the big television special like you were talking about over 3 nights. And so yeah, the cut version was kind of nice because it just covered the 3 eras of the Beatles. But like this cuts it up over, like 10 episodes, I think it is.
Yeah.
So like, yeah.
Well, that's great to get. And of course, is it going to be 4K or?
Oh no, they're up. Or I don't know if it'll be 4K, but it'll definitely be up converted to at least HD. And I think they might rescan all the old film elements if they have them and stuff like that.
Mark, do we know your favorite Beatle?
Well,
I think we had this talk.
Yeah, I think I go between. They're just so all awesome, and I think Ringo's drumming is just so underrated. I think the joke was like Ringo's not even the best drummer in the Beatles because they all play drums.
Yeah,
but I just love their personality. I think they're, probably Paul, I guess, but I mean it'd be it's just
Paul is the more polished showman, right? Like he's the consummate songwriter, the professional. John was always rough around the edges, but he was the more.
I was going to say that's my favorite, of course.
But he was kind of that bad boy kind of thing where he was like, he had that going for him. George is kind of the mix of both, plus that quiet guy kind of thing.
Yeah, imagine, George Harrison, his songwriting talents and skills, he's kind of overshadowed until the end, but he wrote some of the the greatest Beatles songs ever, While My Guitar Gently Weeps, and of course everyone remembers the
that's such a
Prince
good song.
tribute when Prince wails on that song, and just I think some people didn't realize how good of a guitar player Prince was, or didn't know, normal people didn't realize like how amazing he was, and
I don't think people realized he played everything either.
Yeah.
Well, that night they did that big thing, that tribute. I think the same thing you're talking about there, Mark. Did you see the interview afterwards with Eric Clapton?
Yeah, he was talking about just how he had,
well, they asked him, he goes, the guy asked him, how does it feel to be the greatest guitar player in the world? He goes, I don't know, ask Prince.
Ask Prince. Yeah. I mean,
that's funny.
Eric, or I have to say Eric Clapner, if you remember Joycelyn Elders.
Clapner.
Eric Clapner, yep. And hail to Six.
And hi, Six.
Much, hi, Six. Sorry, I'm catching up to the chat here.
No, but I really want to stick around, but I got fucking tons of work to do.
Well, you can stay for 5 more minutes, and I'll kick.
Yeah, I can stick around for a few more minutes, but like I can't stay as long as I normally do.
But well, here, just while I've got this split screen up,
let's see what else is added to it,
and then we'll get back to the Beatles. But the audio commentary. So guest McKean Shear, I guess the producers, they added one. Oh, here, that's the producer, Rob Reiner, and band members. So it looks like they added, like you said, another one. They added Rob Reiner.
Okay, so what it is I think Spinal Tap's Christopher Guest. Okay, so is the first one? I don't know. See, they did do a commentary in character, so I don't know if that's the one that's there or if that's the added one, because they've done just a regular commentary and then they've done. Okay, so I think that's just the regular commentary
and band members. This is the one in character. So tough.
So that's the one they added, because that's the one that's on the Blu-ray now already. Is my memory.
Okay, so that's adding. Maybe they're adding that to these too,
because that's also the disc where they started doing the. Because that's the same one where, I don't know if you have it or not, where they, oh, look at that, that's nice, and they're just sitting there talking over the menu, and the thing comes flying over, and it's like, oh no, come back, that's too small. It's like got Spinal Tap really little in the middle of the screen. Yeah. Like, can we make it bigger?
Can you make it bigger?
Yeah, they just keep talking over the menus, and they just keep talking about DVD stuff. It's hilarious. I don't know if they'll carry any of that stuff over, but you'll probably have to hang on to your old discs for that stuff.
Yeah, never get rid of this disc anyway. It's ripped to my computer. But so they have the cutting room floor, so 98 minutes, so more than 1 hour. So I'm guessing that's this.
I think they added
Final
to it,
Four.
though. That's what I was saying, because I think the
to
original
it.
one, look at yours. I think the one on the original disc is only like 60-some or 70-some minutes.
It's pretty damn long.
It's long, but I don't know if about being 90-some minutes.
Let's
I
see
wonder
how
if they
long
added.
it is.
I wonder if they added the rest of those scenes we were just
Let's
talking
see
about.
how long it is. Yep. Let's see. Let me go. This is Spinal Tap. This is Spinal Tap, or this is Spinal Tarp.
Spinal Tarp.
Spinal Tarp. Yep. I got that clip somewhere
And
too.
the ticket price does not include the puppet show.
Yeah. The audience has become much more selective over time. Yeah. I love that. Yeah. It's 1,000 times Spinal Tap and then puppet show. Let's see. Where is it? I know I have this.
We're not going to do an improvised jazz session in front of a carnival crowd.
Yeah, let's. Oh, where did it go? Oh, it's missing. Oh, I might have it saved somewhere else, but I still have the DVD. So, Ruh-roh. Maybe I put it under Spinal Tap. Anywho, but
yeah, I wonder how much different it is, because I don't remember it being that long before. I could be wrong, but
yeah, it surprised me. Like example, Bruno Kirby driving in the limo. Yeah. There's like an extra 10 minutes of Bruno Kirby just riffing in the limo, and they cut it. Cut it.
Yeah, like I said, I've seen all those before, but then when I saw that 4-hour cut, which I sent to you, there's stuff in there that's not in those scenes either. So and they carry that exact same. As far as I know, that might be the only thing that's the same from the Criterion to the MGM disc, is that collection of deleted scenes.
Okay.
And I think it's only runs like either 60-some or 70-some minutes, and I think they may have added more to it. If they did, cool. If not, I'm just misremembering the length. But
yeah, this came out in 1998, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the original one that was just the rip of the Laserdisc, and then MGM redid it a couple years later when they remastered it.
Yeah, then it came back out. I'm like, I paid $150 for this DVD, and now they came back out with it. But there's no way I'm not buying it anyway, I guess. So,
that's one of the few Criterion ones I'll buy right away. Usually, otherwise, I wait till they're 50% off sales.
Yeah, but I don't want to miss that one again.
No, I want Spinal Tap.
But let's see with Beatles news here.
There's some good questions too in the.
So this question about was Yoko Ono partly to blame for the Beatles splitting up? I mean, if you watch the new Peter Jackson documentary, I think it's kind of shifted. Originally, that was like everyone said she killed the band, but when you watch the Peter Jackson version, Yoko is always
Linda is more of a Yoko actually.
Linda's there, and Yoko's kind of just sitting there, which is interesting.
Yeah,
her to be. All
so you noticed that too, didn't you? That Linda's kind of more of a
more active and taking pictures and more involved.
She's like the fifth Beatle all of a sudden. Like, what the hell is this?
And you know what I think it is too. I mean, I think that I'm thinking of like high school buddies when they got a girlfriend, and they're like, "What's the matter? You don't want to hang out with me anymore?" It's like, well, yeah, you're not as good looking as my girlfriend, right? So it's a typical, thing with guys or gals. When you've got friends and you're stuck together, quote unquote, or as a band here. But it's I don't think she should get all the. I think there's a lot of dynamics.
As much as I dislike her after watching that, yeah.
It doesn't seem like it's. I don't think she's as to blame as people are, making it out to be. I think it played a small part, but I think that played an evolution, and John, not saying growing up, but just his life changing direction. So
honestly, in hindsight, if you look back, and this is where, and I'm not trying to paint Linda as any kind of bad person or anything like that, but. Especially after seeing that documentary, I'm sitting here going, especially the way Paul is with her, everything we've ever said about John being obsessed with Yoko, because you really look at it, John fucked off on Yoko God knows how many times. And she basically took care of him like a mother, right? Like a lot of the time. Yeah. And Paul, on the other hand, he is so wrapped up into his life with Linda. As I'm watching Let It Be, I'm just going... No, Linda, she's the one that tore the Beatles apart at the end of the day, if you really look at it. Because she turned Paul into this completely different person. John is the same guy he was, when he met Yoko.
I think part of it too, it all comes down to the money too. Like,
oh God,
Paul
yeah, they're
McCartney-
totally different people. It's 10 years later and all that business.
Yeah, Paul McCartney was a consummate. I think he became the first rock billionaire, and the famous manager for the Rolling Stones. They wanted to bring him in to manage the Beatles or be their financial advisor. I'm forgetting his name, but it turned out he was had ripped off the Rolling Stones. What was the manager's manager for the Stones? So they all wanted to have and I think Paul wanted his family to manage the
Klein
band
or Joyce.
Yeah, Klein. Yeah.
Klein was the one that ripped him off. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's who it was. Yeah.
Yeah, Klein. Yeah, yep. So so there's a lot going on behind the scenes, and think of the fame they had. You think Taylor Swift is popular these days? I mean, just the Beatles.
Well, that's the thing. The Beatles were making so much money they didn't even realize how much was being stolen from them. That's the thing,
right?
And it was a different time too. I mean, it was like I don't know, like the reaction that they got from fans and stuff like that, because there wasn't all the internet and the accessibility to everything.
Yeah, but it was just you're right. Yeah, it was just a crazy explosion of popularity, and I don't think we didn't live through it. I was alive at the end, just a couple of years old. But when you talk to people, they can't realize how all consuming that was. And when you watch the documentary, The Beatles Coming to America, actually years ago I'd seen it aired. They had a special. There's like a local independent theater, and they had the director there for the movie and some of the people who worked on it, and they showed the movie and had a Q&A, and it's rarely shown. But now that they re-edited it for Disney Plus. So what was the name of that movie? It was Beatles Come to America, but they changed a lot of the footage. So when I watched it, I've been trying to find. It's actually on the Wayback Machine. You can find find the original version. Yeah, the Beatles' first U.S. visit. But what the heck was the movie called? I'm trying to remember the name of it. But so the movie version of that. Okay, so it's here we go. So I think the director was there. Someone was there that night. So it was Beatles' first U.S. visit, released in 1991. Is a re-edited version of the 1964 60mm documentary "What's Happening: The Beatles in the USA" by Albert and David Maisley. So they had a special showing of this movie, which was it was rarely shown, and then they kept making changes to it, and they added 22 minutes to the movie and removed scenes with Brian Epstein. But so I'm trying to piece together that download. But if you're a Beatles fan, that's a fascinating movie to watch. And they're I shouldn't say nobodies, but like you could see Murray the K and some of the DJs, they're all glomming up to the Beatles in this. They want to get them on the show, and they're trying to be like best friends with the Beatles, and they're walking around with their AM radios, and it's just a fascinating sliver of life there. And then they finally they take him to Harlem to like escape the madness, because they go up to Harlem, and I think it was with one of the Motown stars, and they take the Beatles there so they can get away from the crazy crowds there. But fascinating stuff. So yeah, this is gonna be great to see, to finally get remastered things. And people argue about this too, like, oh, why are they remastering this, or they're changing, they're using AI, but really it's not AI per se. Now some of the stuff they did auto-tune, some of the stuff on Anthology, and I've listened to some YouTube streams on it where they kind of messed around with Paul's voice, and to its detriment, I think. But what they're doing here, as Tom was saying before, they're able to separate it, because back then they kept originally they had a 4-track, so you can have 4 separate tracks, and Courtney's our music expert here, but so I guess they would record, like say they'd record all the vocals, and then they'd add like the drums to it, and then the other track would so they have to layer these tracks together, kind of like you're cut and pasting, on
It's
top
how
of
I
each
used to
other,
make music with my tape deck as a kid.
right?
My cassette, my double tape deck. That's how I think about it. But
Yeah. But yeah, so what they're doing with this is they're able to separate it. So I haven't heard that yet. So I got to let Free as a Bird, always sounded so tinny, and they did what they could, and that's why the last song, Now and Then, George Harrison said, "Oh, this is garbage," but he wasn't referring to the song per se. He was referring to how it sounded, and they didn't have the technology to separate it. So now what they've been able to do with these remasters, and they take AI and they can just pull out, John's voice. They can
I'm
pull out
still
Paul's
against it.
voice.
I
I'm
like
not
the
for
sound of
the-
an old crackly record.
Well, you can have both though too. Well, that's what they did on the Beatles releases. So they have the new like stereo, they have the mono, the stereo, and then the new Giles Martin, surround sound version. But you can listen to either one. But John is
No,
just
that's
sitting at
cool.
the piano with this tape recorder, as a demo tape. It's not meant to be in the studio, and the intent would have been, if John had not tragically been murdered, who knows what we would have gotten. Maybe they would have done a reunion. Maybe they would have gone to Saturday Night Live for the $3,000 to get paid to appear on SNL. But yeah, it's I don't mind using the technology to fix things, and to because they would have used that tech too if they had it. Yep. And Deadman says here, Yoko was a problem, but they were sick of each other. Brian Epstein dying was a bigger problem. They all slept in hotels together for a long time. Yeah, I think they talk about that in all these documentaries, how that was a huge shock to them, and that probably was the beginning of the end. But Alan Klein, yep. And Brian Bard is asking, it would let him be woke today. But
Yeah, I answered that in the chat. I think definitely. I don't think he would be.
well, it
Not at
depends how
all.
you define it, right? I mean, woke is kind of morphed into like
He's too much of a
you're a liberal.
druggie. He was such a druggie. He was against war. He was. I just don't think. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think he would have remained a liberal. I don't know if he would have, joined the Republican Party, had an awakening. And I'm running for president on the Republican ticket. I'm joking here.
I
But,
think he probably would have just been unaffiliated, kind of like I am.
yeah. But he was always
Even though he was
really in tune with the social issues. Of course,
Yeah, I know.
The Vietnam War. Everyone was protesting the Vietnam War, the bed-ins, and you listen to Imagine. He's a dreamer, and I think you need people like that. But woke people. I think woke. The way I'd kind of define it is, virtual signaling or trying to just
I don't think
say
he would
I'm better than
follow
you.
along with that.
He was a genuine. He believed what he believed, right? He wasn't doing it to. You might not have agreed with it, or oh, he's a liberal wackadoodle, or maybe you did agree with him, but he wasn't doing it for money or for fame. That's just what he believes. So it depends on how you define that woke. It's kind of morphed its meaning a little bit. So it's kind of, almost, to me today, it ends up sounding like oh, you're just a crazy liberal person. But when you go deeper into it, I think it also means, for me, it means kind of that virtue signaling, like I'm better than you. I drive a Prius, or whatever. But
A Prius.
yeah, well, I guess I drive a Prius too if I can afford it, I guess. But
I couldn't even point out a Prius to you. Do you know that?
Yeah.
It's just really small.
Yeah. But I think it's I think that he would have been a liberal, but he's not like Bernie Sanders. And of course, we always say don't do politics here, but I always love interviews with Bernie Sanders, because love him or hate him, he's not BSing you. That's what he believes. He's not, putting his finger up in the air.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I like Bernie, and I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not on either side. Like, I am unaffiliated.
Yeah.
But I just thought he was. I don't know. He was cool.
I think John Lennon's a little full of shit, though. At the end of the day, I mean, if he really believed all the lyrics he said in Imagine, he would have gave his fortune away.
I think he was. I think he was blowing it all on drugs. I really do. I mean,
he
all
was
his
never
solo
broke
stuff is
or
about.
anything, so like.
No, I know, but
yeah,
I think that he was too wrapped up in that to even. I think he was in a fantasy land almost.
I mean, Imagine's a really
Good night,
great
Steve.
sentiment. It's a beautiful song. It's probably one of the greatest songs ever written. But I highly believe that he actually really believes in most of that song. Like, I mean, a lot of it's just kind of like, oh yeah, it'd be nice. But I mean, of course, you listen to the lyrics, it's like this commie daydream, right?
Yeah.
Like, but then you listen to a
Doesn't work
bunch of
in
his
practice.
other songs, and they don't always jive with that. I mean, John was one of the most complicated of the group, right? And honestly, I would be surprised. He could have surprised us. He might have been one of those guys who turned around and been one of the first ones to come out in favor of Trump and been like, look, this whole world is going to shit. We need somebody like this who can shake things up, who's not a politician. See, he might have seen it that way. I mean,
or he would have gotten into politics himself, maybe. Who knows?
Maybe,
Yeah.
well, I don't know. But I mean, a good example I was going to say is look at Roger Waters, right? Like, do I agree with 90% of what Roger Waters says? No. But he's kind of like one of those guys where once in a while he'll say something that's like, yeah, he's not wrong. You know, like, I think he'd be a lot like that. I think he'd be constant. If there was any like musician like him, like, oh, he would definitely been involved with politics all along the way.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he would have never stopped. He would be all over
Live
that
Aid,
shit.
Live Aid. He would have been all over Live Aid.
The
and,
AIDS the AIDS stuff,
Yeah.
the gay rights, all that business. He'd have been all over that shit. He'd wrote 10 songs about all of them.
Yeah. That was a tragedy. We lost him so young. I mean, just and Double Fantasy was a great album. I mean, that was a huge hit. I mean, it's just
But that's the
just
thing
so
is with
tragic.
him, you can he's kind of like an Andy Kaufman type. Just when you think you got him figured out, he's
He
sliding.
changes it up.
Yeah, exactly. He's giving
Yeah.
you a sleight of hand.
Yeah.
You don't know exactly what he's got going on in his mind. And he was always the biting one, right? Like you never knew what you were going to get out of him.
That's kind of what I was going to say, Tom, is that, like, you know, when you said he'd be politically affiliated the whole time, I don't know that he would.
I think he would, but I think he'd surprise a lot of people on where he'd go. Is my point. Like I wouldn't even be surprised if he'd be one of the guys who'd be like, "Yeah, Trump's right."
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
know,
Like-
it wouldn't surprise me either. I mean, and he was definitely the worst of them all with the continuation of, like,
That's what I mean. Like Paul, he's
drugs
really
and
into his
stuff, you know?
vegan stuff and his whatever. But
Paul's never been overtly political like Lennon was. I mean, and then they're considering deporting him at one point, and there was a lot of stuff going. And just going back to the Vietnam War era too. I mean, protesting the war, that was considered subversive back then too. And he's a guy that's here on a visa, protesting the war.
Well, and it makes you wonder how much, because all that stuff about the FBI trailing him, all that came out later on. I mean, wonder if he would have still been alive when all that happened. How much differently it would have been affected had they found out that he was being basically singled out by the FBI.
Because he was a threat to the system, right? So,
he was
and
going against everything that they.
yeah. And he had a lot of drug charges for, now we laugh. It's like you get charged for marijuana, but it was a serious deal back then. Yeah.
It was almost a bigger deal when Paul got busted in China with that weed. I remember that.
Oh, he got busted. Yeah, he got busted with the weed. Yeah. And fans, the SNL, the night that John and Paul were watching SNL, considered going to collect, but we're too tired. Could you imagine if John and Paul had showed up and said to play SNL, so give us half the money? George Harrison hosted and tried to collect. Yeah. Collect the $250. Yeah. But
I did like that VH1 movie. Did you ever see that? The one they made.
I never
based on
watched that. I
It was
never
alright.
watched
It had
it.
Aidan Quinn, and I'm trying to remember who else was in it, but
As Paul, they had it was John and Paul that night in the Dakota, right? Watching SNL.
yeah, they're just hanging out, and then they're just talking about a possible, possibly getting together and just kind of hashing some things out, and then this. I can't remember how it comes up, but I think they're talking about, like you just said, George being on SNL, and they pop it on, and then, of course, the Lorne Michaels scene comes up, and then the rest of the movie is but them debating on whether or not they should go. And I think how that leads up to is they just pull up just as the show's getting over or something like that. I can't remember, but like it's been like years since I've seen it, but like
I gotta watch that. Yeah. Oh, Deadman saying John wrote an anti-communist song. What song would be was a solo career or Beatles or?
It's hard to say which one, but I mean, kind of Revolution.
Yeah, I guess you could say. Yeah, I mean, it's tough to pigeonhole people too, and it's. But John was notoriously considered a quote unquote, liberal voice, which is, that turns some people off. Other people, it doesn't bother. I just think it was extremely talented. And did you watch the movie that came out a couple years ago that the people sued over the trailer because of the Beatles movie?
Yes.
And then they changed the
I
plot.
haven't seen the movie, but I know the one you're talking about.
I've watched it. Yeah, what was
Yesterday?
Yesterday, yeah. So, because Anna Armas was in the trailer, and she's actually a love interest in he's like on the Late Show or something. It's like, could you write her a love song? And he, and then they come back from break, and of course, he's the only person who remembers any of the Beatles songs. So I think he plays one of the Beatles, great love songs, and it's like the crowd is just like totally blown away. Like he plays Michelle or something, or something, really an amazing, amazing song, or Girl or something. And so they cut that whole scene of the movie because they knew that actor or the character would have been kind of cheating on his girlfriend that's in the movie. So they cut that whole subplot out. So people actually sued because it was advertised, it was false advertising for the trailer.
I looked that up, and they didn't really get much out of it, but it was kind of.
But the ending, it's a crazy movie. It's worth watching if you're a Beatles fan. But the ending, John Lennon is alive, and the singer tracks down John Lennon, and he's just. It was kind of a touching scene. It was sad, but it just sucks that we lost him. It was taken from us. Yeah. So Yep. Whoever monitored everyone says Price. Yep. That's
He's still monitoring us right now.
Yeah. And hail to RJ Godzilla.
But no, I don't understand Courtney, because I'm with you. I'm not a big fan of sometimes what AI does, especially I don't like auto tuning at all.
Yeah.
But what they did here is a completely different, and you're not even going to be able to hear how good it actually sounds because it's going to be coming through so crappy. But yeah, I was just going to show a quick clip of how different it is. So here's the original mix. We're gonna have to pause it just so you don't get trouble.
Don't play too much. Yeah,
and then just one more line just so you can hear the difference.
Yeah. It's all muddled.
Yeah, you see how muddy he sounds and how he's so far in the background. Now here's the new version that they just released. The difference is night and 7 days. Or should I say 8 days?
8 days a week?
Yeah, to be punny. So whenever you bring that up, you can hear the difference.
Oh, I got it. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, there we go. So here's the new version that they just released.
That's John there.
Nope, I like it better the old way.
See, you hear him over top of the vocals, yeah.
You can hear it, but the whole point of it is to sound kind of ambient. I don't know. It's like that dreamy.
The reason it sounds that way is because they had a shitty cassette tape to work from, though.
Yeah.
That's the point. And here's the next
those
line.
Those are the times.
Here, just hear this next line too. Well, it's not so much of the time. He would have recorded it on much better
in the
equipment.
studio. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the difference. But here's the next line that they did.
It's the next best thing to be. Free as a bird.
Yeah,
that's John Lennon.
That. Yeah, no, that's because they're not auto-tuning his voice. Hopefully, or
no, they're not altering his voice at all. It just took out all that.
You can hear the crap in the background.
Yeah,
and the air conditioner someone mentioned, and
the piano they separated it from, and all that stuff.
Yeah, you can do left and left.
I get
and right
what Courtney's
there.
saying, and I totally do.
I think it's kind of like the difference between shoegaze music, if you know the genre I'm talking about. It's that kind of dreamy. I don't know. It just gives it a different vibe. It's not
but you
so
see,
pure,
you
it's
can
not so clean. I like it.
And I understand where you're coming from, and I would be totally resistant to it if that was aesthetically the way that John Lennon wanted it to be.
I get what you're saying.
If he laid it down in the studio like that, and he's like, "This is what he did the final mix," and Giles is in there just monkeying around with shit, I would totally agree with you. The difference here, because this is what Mark was saying, this is what caused George to just say, fuck it, I'm leaving. And we'll probably see some of that in the new part of the documentary, because they were working on Now and Then at the same time they were working on the other 2 songs, and the quality of Now and Then just was not up to snuff. Especially
it was even worse than the other stuff. Yeah,
because you had tape clicks and you had all the other noise and stuff in there, and so they did all that echo stuff to kind of cover up all that garbage. Because back then they actually did use computers to manipulate it. That's the thing, is I understand people's, like they just at that time, that's all the technology they had. It was very primal computer technology compared to now. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like I have Adobe Premiere, and you can clean up audio, but you can't separate tracks. But if I'm doing a recording,
you can with some things now. That's the thing.
Yeah, but with just a simple Premiere, I can click a button and say do podcast voice, and it'll get rid of all the background stuff, but it won't give you that I guess a higher end program. But like having Adobe Premiere now, like I could put in that original track probably and get like the effect that they got 20 years ago, just like with a home software. Oh, Courtney, I saw you had to leave, Courtney. Yep.
Oh, I was just saying, I was writing in the back. I could sneak out or pull my Irish accent.
No, I saw that.
And I'm enjoying the conversation so much.
Hi.
It's always like during the best time, like the music.
No, but I totally understand where Courtney's coming from. But at least in this instance, as far as the rest of the song goes, it's not even like the mix sounds almost exactly the same. Everything else sounds
it's part of the
hey
kids get off my lawn type of thing. That's all it is. I'm getting
and
old.
at first, and for me, normally, like I said, I would be in your court, but I'm like hearing John Lennon's voice, and I almost was brought to tears because I'm like, this is
his voice is beautiful.
Well, we've never heard it that way before.
No, that sounded beautiful that did, but it just wasn't the feel, the vibe. I don't know for me, but anyway.
Well, because that's originally how you heard it, I guess.
Night. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the way it was made.
Everyone should be in Courtney's court. Everyone should be in Courtney's court, right?
I don't know. And Lennon, I mean, he's my favorite songwriter. Gosh, maybe not of all time, but his solo stuff, like Jealous Guy, and I mean, all of that.
Oh, his solo stuff is great.
Well, Now and Then, have you heard the new? Like that thing is haunting as hell.
Oh God, the lyrics on that song are amazing, and it's so as the last song,
as the final song,
it's unbelievable. I mean, originally the last words was all the love you take is equal to love you make, and the final chorus there, and now that's their last song, and the lyrics on Now and Then are just who would have thought that? And that's just him doodling around on the piano, right, as a demo.
Yeah, I don't even think it was a full song, kind of like
not even a full song, but it's such a damn. And some people were kind of knocking it. It's like, God, I mean, just how talented.
Real Love was the only one that was closest to a whole song, because that song is actually featured in the Imagine documentary movie. That version that he plays, that they used for that.
And we're talking about Yoko before, and she gave John Paul that tape, I think was it after the funeral?
I think,
at the funeral, it said, "Here's the tape," or was soon after. But
Yoko.
So Yoko had that just on. Mentioned, that cassette, if it went near a magnet or something, or we'd miss out on all those.
Right.
It was on just a crappy, cassette with one of those crappy tape recorders you put on your press record and old school. So
that's how I recorded all my music. Don't knock it.
No, but I mean, it's not it's not meant to be not meant to be
I literally recorded a tape for college for that. Like they scouted me out, but I had to send in a tape. And I did one professionally, and the other one was layering with a double, like a cassette thing.
Yeah,
I used to do the same thing, tape to tape to tape to tape, to the point where you're bouncing down so many tracks and barely hear the original.
With background and stuff. And all. Anyway, okay, well, peace out to everyone in the chat, and to you guys.
Take care.
And have a great one.
Take care.
Right.
Yep.
See ya.
Yep.
And see, now here's the thing, Mark, is I think on that original tape, I think it was just Free as a Bird and Now and Then, because I believe that they took the audio for Real Love from the documentary, because it would have been done on a Nagra, probably.
Oh, you think that was
I think
can't remember now,
because if you've seen the documentary, Imagine, it opens with the song Real Love, with just John playing it on piano live. and I think that's the version they took, and that's why that one they didn't
better
have to
quality.
do. Yeah, they didn't have to do.
Yeah.
If you listen to the songs and you listen to that version compared to that, like there's very little change in it. Free as a Bird, Paul had to write like a whole nother section in there.
Yep.
So all that whole like whatever happened to the life
that's
that
Paul.
we once knew. That's the part Paul wrote. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think he added a little bit to this song too, right? Yep.
Yeah, they took another part out actually that wasn't quite working. Because I've heard the original version of this, and there's like a whole nother section in there that John did that just wasn't quite jiving with the rest. So they took that out and they replaced it. So that's the part that Paul would have wrote for this one. And I don't know I think he said George did record some of the lead, but they didn't get to finish it.
And they used that in the remake now. Yep. They actually used, so George is on that on this new version Now and Then.
Yeah.
So they're all the Beatles are on there. That's truly then their last.
Because I actually have
track.
a really nice recording of Real Love from the soundtrack of Imagine. So like I mean, it's a live recording of John singing it, but it's not like audio cassette. It's like nice Niagara recording.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Like,
But it's these lyrics are haunting. Yeah, now and then I miss you. Now and then I want you to be there for me. I know it's true. It's all because of you. And if I make it through, it's all because of you. I mean, it's just but it's all about missing someone, which is so haunting there. Yep.
but it fits with the Beatles at the same. Like it fits so many little things that it was almost like, because Real Love was a great song to finish up on, but it was still a John Lennon song at the end of the day.
Yeah.
This with Paul doing what he did to it, with the way they were able to. And I don't think if it wasn't for this song, we wouldn't have got the remixes of Free as a Bird and Real Love. And I'm still curious to hear what they do with Real Love. Because, when I heard Free as a Bird and I sat down, like I was like Courtney, I was resistant at first. And that first line didn't sell me at first. And then when he comes in that second line, I'm just like, you hear, not only do you hear John's voice, you hear the little, like, it's the next best thing to be. Just like the little things in his voice that he normally
iterations,
and it just sounds like he's right there singing into a studio quality mic, right? Like that's the difference, and you're just like, wow. And I get where Courtney's coming, because everything John did at the last few albums he always had that weird echo to his voice.
Yeah, they did make a little distortion and echo in there. Yep.
So, I mean, I get where she's coming. Maybe if they would have left a little bit of that in there, it would have worked. But at the end of the day, this sounds more like a Beatles song, not a John Lennon song now.
Yeah. I just love the tech. And talk about getting back to the beginning. I did buy this Beatles set when on sale, so I posted the link. So this is a Mega Blocks. I got to build this on stream, but the Ed Sullivan, of course, what introduced to the world here on the Ed Sullivan Show.
The Beatles.
The Beatles. And the set originally was said the Beatles, and George was really sick, so I can't remember who stood in.
And what was the other song they sang that night?
Was it Love Me Do?
Was it Love Me Do?
Or was it what was? Let me see.
I think Love Me Do was first, and then All My Lovin' I think was second.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken, but yeah,
just amazing that set is just so iconic. So, and Sullivan said everyone knows that they're Beatles. Take the Beatles name off there. And this set has lights and stuff, so it's not Lego, but it's Mega Blocks or Mega. They're calling. So we've checked that out, and I have to build that on stream. I got to find a place to put it. If I put it next to some of my Beatles collection, I guess, or if I had a shelf for that, would be pretty cool to keep that next to some of the albums. But let's see, what did they have? What did they play? Let's see.
That's what I love about that anthology in the documentary. They talk about that when they were singing on Ed Sullivan. It had been the lowest. There's been like hardly any or the lowest crime reported.
Everyone's watching the Beatles.
Everybody's watching the Beatles.
Yeah. Let's see here. What did they play? Yep. Oh, let's see. I saw her standing there, and I want to hold your hand. Yep. She loves you. Yep.
Was that the first time?
They play open by All My Loving.
All My Loving. Okay.
Till There Was You, which feature the names of the group members superimposed on close shots. Yep. Sorry Girls, he's married. Yeah, John Lennon was married. Yep.
I'm trying to remember.
She Loves You. The act that followed the Beatles and the broadcast, Fred Capps, was pre-recorded or allowed time to make an elaborate set change. The group later returned to perform I Saw Her Standing There, and they closed with I Want to Hold Your Hand. They did 4 songs.
4
songs. Was it 4? Let's see.
Okay, yeah, because now I think about it, because he does say you're going to be... because they played in the first hour and the second hour, and I think that was a rarity for like the Sullivan show at the time, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, because that was the thing, is they were
they had to change up the set.
Both musical acts instead of just one. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and they noticed how they said John's guitar looks like it's in really bad shape. Let's better get him a new guitar. Yeah. Is Rickenbacker 325 yet? They directed to be given a replacement. Yeah. So yeah, then they played the third appearance. They played Twist and Shout, Please Please Me, and I Want to Hold Your Hand Again. Yep. But yeah,
their first two appearances on their first trip to the U.S., because didn't they do it at the beginning and the end of their run, and then they came back for their second album?
When I watched that documentary, I think they were just on that, just did Sullivan, and then they were going to radio shows in New York City area.
Well, because they were on Sullivan 3 times, wasn't it?
Yes, let's look here. Yep. Well, this is the first performance, February 9th. Yep. So, and this is they played. Let's see. Richard Nixon's daughters were there, right? Let's see. Yeah, All My Loving, Till There Was You, She Loves You, and then I saw her standing there, and I Want to Hold Your Hand. Yep. So 1, 2.
Yeah, and then February
3,
16th
4, 5.
they came back after their, because I knew they did.
Oh, after the concert, right? Yeah, you're right. Yep. Then they flew to Miami Beach. Okay, yep. So yeah, because that was February 9th and February 16th. Yep.
It was a big deal. Yep, with the whole Sullivan thing. Yep, because I knew they did a couple appearances all in that. Yep, 3 of them it looks like there.
Yeah, All My Loving. Yep. And then February 23rd. Yep. See, I was totally wrong. Yep.
And I was right. Yep.
You were right. Yes, you win the No Prize. Yep.
I knew it all had to do with their tour. They were doing.
I Want to Hold Your Hand. Okay. Yeah.
Throughout their whole tour.
Yeah. On the May 24th.
February 4th, though, I think is when they landed Dead Man, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's the day they did come to America, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so they landed on February 7th. Yep.
Okay, the 7th. I knew it was just before.
Yeah, February 7th. Yeah. They landed then. Yep. Yeah, so that was that tour. Yeah, and if you watch that Beatles Coming to America documentary, they cover all this and showing this. Yeah, in the hotel, like some girls were trying to sneak up to the hotel floor.
What the anthology did was kind of replace the complete Beatles, although I wish they would re-release a really good version of that. But I guess Paul hates that.
What does he hate?
You never seen the complete Beatles? It was a documentary that came out in the early 80s.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, it was. It's a lot like the Beatles anthology before the anthology, but it's like a 2-hour documentary. Even Weird Al did a parody of it called The Complete Al.
Okay.
Yeah, and what I guess Paul hates it. See, there you can get it on the Internet Archive.
Okay, you can get it in an archive.
See, I guess Paul doesn't like it, and he, as far as he's concerned, the anthology replaces.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I don't know if it's just he didn't like the filmmaker, he didn't like how it was edited, or what the deal was, but I mean, it covers a lot of the same ground. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah. Let me open. Complete Beat. Oh, this is a book, though. This is a book, I guess.
No, that's not the book. Yeah, we're talking about a movie.
It's a movie. Yeah.
And that's what I think is on the archive. There's the
probably that movie. Yep. So it's kind of buried. Yep.
Kind of. I mean, it's out there, like you said. You can get it on the Internet Archive and real crappy. I think it's off. And it was disc.
Yeah. So Hard Day's Night, of course, the first movie in Help, Magical Mystery Tour, Yellow Submarine, then Let It Be. And then let's see if I'm scrolling faster. Unmade Films. Well, this is just their stuff, I guess. Yeah, the DC concert. Yeah, 1964, around the Beatles.
Yeah, I think you clicked.
What's
on
happening?
Wikipedia
Yeah, but this is What's Happening. That's that documentary I was talking about.
Yep.
So let's see. The Complete Beatles, 1982.
Yep. There it is. Yep.
The 2-hour documentary chronicling the career of the Beatles. Yep. So
I think HBO showed it a few times or something like that.
And what isn't he like? He just doesn't like the way it makes him
I guess
look,
he just doesn't like something about. I don't remember the specific. It might even say in there what he doesn't like about it, but because it's only been released a few, or PBS. That's what it was on. Yeah.
The PBS. Yep.
Yeah.
So Laserdisc, yeah.
Oh
So
yeah, see, there's very little. To go
1983.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, yeah. Film was later made available theatrically in 16 millimeter. Interesting. Yep. I wonder if I ever saw that. Was that one of the ones they would do for like fundraising for PBS then?
Maybe
I wonder
they
if...
probably showed, because I think I've seen it when I was younger, and then like I remember renting it once on video, and it was after the anthology came out, and I just remember going, "Oh, there's a lot of the same shit that's in the anthology." But then like years later, I remember reading about it, and it just said that Paul, as far as he's concerned, the anthology
just as much better and replaces it. Yeah. So it's Beatles fans worth. It's definitely worth catching. Yeah,
and it might be just because it has stuff from Let It Be in it. I don't know.
Yeah, because that was the the interesting Let It Be documentary that Michael Lindsay Hogg, who we're talking Spinal Tap, Sir Eaton Hogg, is the producer of the record label.
See, and they might have used footage that he didn't like, because that's the thing, is there was a lot of that footage that and that's how Peter Jackson was able to make his documentary the way he was, and that was the first time Paul finally just kind of let it go, I think. But for years,
we must have cut out any of the controversial stuff, because it did make the band look.
He was always the one who was always very worried about that. Yes.
Yeah, and he said they were still friends, and of course, Ringo, leaves the band at that point. But it's it's not as bad as you thought. Yoko was going to be like this crazy lady. I'm sure there's some bad moments in it, that we will never see. But who wouldn't have a bad moment if you filmed me for 50 hours at work during the week, right? Yep.
And it was like one of the worst times for them to be filmed. So like, I get it.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it, but he's always had this very protective nature over the group over the years. And honestly, he's probably kept a lot of stuff. I'm not even saying he's protecting himself so much as he's probably protecting like the other guys too.
Yeah.
John is one that I'm sure has got some skeletons in his closet. So yeah.
No one wants to look bad, right? So yeah. And Geoff, I don't share my data. Hey, Jeff, he says, meanwhile, Autotune presents music the way the artist producer wish it could sound, and that's not honest. Autotune is just I
can't stand Autotune.
Disaster.
Autotune is ridiculous.
I mean, unless you're doing like Share with like I Believe in Love,
you're meaning
as like
to
a
do
like
it.
as like a as this part of the song, but
no, the tragedy is recently they released Queen 1 with Freddie Mercury auto-tuned on it. It's like, what the are you doing? One of the greatest singers of all time.
And all
it did was took out what the little intricacies. I can't think of say that word.
Yeah, but the little ins and outs of his voice, right?
That make him unique from a machine, basically. Yeah, and it just smoothed it all out. And it's like, this ain't Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I was getting at earlier with the John Lennon thing. It's and I get it. But in my opinion, it doesn't sound like they did anything to John's voice other than just separated it from everything else and made it better quality. The little nuances are still there in John's voice. That was my point.
So Wings of Pegasus, great YouTuber.
Yeah, he's good at this stuff.
Yeah, so check out this. I'm not going to play this, obviously, because it's his video, but check out this, and he goes through all the ins and outs. Recommend you subscribe to him. He's just amazing. And he's showing it, with the graphs here. You can see where Paul has been auto-tuned, and it's actually when it was Long and Winding Road. They had the naked version. Because Paul famously hated, the version, the Spectre version.
Yeah, the Spectre mix. Yeah.
So they came out with the naked version, but then they auto-tuned him. And the naked version, and when you hear, his audio track pulled out, you can definitely hear it. And you like those little imperfections, or, what makes the music human, right?
I was not a big fan of that naked release, if I remember right, unless I'm remembering wrong. The only good thing about it is, doesn't it have like the entire Rooftop session on it?
Yeah, it has the whole all the versions.
That's the only good. The only good thing about it.
Yeah, because they played some of the songs multiple times on the Rooftop version.
Yeah, I mean, I have the big box set, but I also have Let It Be Naked, and I think I've only listened to it once. But I think Naked might also be included in that box set as well.
Yeah. but this is a really great, really well done video by Wings of Pegasus. So check that out. Yep. And Geoff says, yeah, AI is making musicians, artists, singers, designer, architects, writers, etc. extinct. Well, I don't think so right now. I mean, eventually it could, but you could have someone who needs to run the AI, though, I guess, right? You're always going to need that AI.
You need what we've done is we've kind of hit that point where, yeah, you need somebody who can kind of feed the AI, train it, do all that kind of business. But if I were you, the ones who need to worry the most are the producers, are the people who, like, if I were you as a producer right now, I would definitely up my game, because you need to come up with stuff and make sounds that AI can't replicate yet, or hasn't replicated yet, because nobody else has come up with it. And guess what? That's how music used to be made, because that's what the Beatles and Pink Floyd and Michael Jackson and Prince were all about. They would get into the studio and they let me hear something new. I want to hear something I've never heard before. And that's why they would bring in new, instruments and new sounding tech. And Michael Jackson was always, and Pink Floyd too, always on like the cusp of whatever new thing was coming out, so that their album sounded way advanced and ahead of what everybody else was doing, right? Like, I mean, even like the beginning of that song, Beat It, right? Like, that bong, bong, bong. That was off a keyboard that fucking Michael had found that some other musician had used on some song. And he's like, give me that. Whatever that is, find that and get that for me. And they did. And that's exactly what they did. They just...
He was a musical genius. Yeah. He couldn't write music, but you watch some of the documentaries with him, and he's directing everything, and he knows exactly what he wants, right? So.
I love listening to his demos. Michael Jackson has the greatest demos of any musician. Because, like, a lot of musicians, they just sound like they recorded it in their apartment, right? Like the John Lennon ones we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
But Michael get in there, and he'll do... And none of it's ever, like, actual instruments. That's the fucked up part.
It's a cappella, right?
It's all him. It's like...
Yeah.
And then he'll come in with a boom, and he'll just start mixing it all together with the lyric. And it's just like you're listening. And then Billie Jean is one of the greatest ones, because he's sitting there going boom, 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 boom. It's just his voice, It's like
yeah. He was a talent. He was a talent. Yeah. No auto tune for him. Yeah. But yeah,
and like, the song's all there, right? You hear it, you're like, that's the song. And eventually just whoever it was that produced it was able to take that, transplant it into an actual song. And that's what AI is doing now.
He couldn't write music. Yeah. I mean, he could write, I mean, musical notes. Yeah, he couldn't, physically write. And Paul McCartney, I don't think can write, knows how to score music either. So, which is amazing.
Well, the thing with Paul was he could play. He was a lot like Prince and Michael. Michael couldn't really play many instruments. Prince could, and that was where Paul was a lot like. He could play like all the instruments.
Anything. Yeah. But yeah, talking about AI, like my brother-in-law does commercials for a living, a video guy, but well, they don't want to call it AI, but they're like video enhancement, or but you still need someone to prompt the computer or get what you want out of the AI. But they did a lot of stuff that was AI, and like he's like, this would cost me thousands and thousands of dollars. Like they're doing like a commercial for a coffee company.
Well, that was how I was able to do the Nosferatu music. I would never have been able to do that otherwise.
Couldn't afford it, right? Yeah, and then they
never been able to do it.
And then he's like, give me a scene with someone drinking coffee on the beach, right? I'm just throwing something out there, but like, yeah, and they'll do it. But so like one of his graphic artists, like the guy is heavily into AI now, but he's becoming an expert. He's like, I got to learn how to be able to do all the prompts and get the AI to do what needs to be done. So some of the people are gonna lose work, but it's also gonna open up some new avenues for work. But like jingles, guys that come up with jingles, songwriters, like they could really be hurt, I think, because you could, like you said, that Nosferatu song, or using that Sonos to come up with a jingle or something. It's just you're gonna lose work, but then you've got to adapt and become like the best person at using the AI or using those.
Well, I mean, when I can sit there and go like, for my bass, and then just come in and and do something like that into Suno, and it'll turn it into either a rock song or a score or what have you, and then I just keep manipulating it along the ways, and I add and I change and I mix and I feed more things into Suno. That's how I basically made the Nosferatu soundtrack.
Right.
Like if I had my keyboard out like now, I don't know where my chords for it. I thought about just getting one I could plug right into the... I could probably do some really crazy, goofy shit. Like I could score an actual film possibly. Like the thing with Nosferatu, the upside was it's a silent film. So I was able to kind of play with the music in a little bit more looser way. But if I have to score a film, now I got to get into timing and everything. So that's going to get into a lot of... I mean, some of that was in Nosferatu. But it gets really kind of direct when you're talking like an actual film score. But no, I would love to be able to do that. And AI kind of facilitates that now in a way. But that's a gray area on if you're able to really do that. Because that does take away jobs at the same time. And I just don't have that kind of money to do that. But that does kind of change the game a bit for indie folk.
Unfortunately, yeah, but it also opens up some new doors too. Yep. And Brian has a question here. Is anyone excited for the four-part Beatles film series directed by Sam Mendes? What's
okay, this is the one where they're doing 4 films and they're releasing, I think, all of them in 1 year. And it's like 4 movies from different perspectives of the Beatles.
So is each Beatle gets a like a take on their so
which I think is I'm not sure how it's going to turn out. I'm curious to see how it turns out, but I would have thought the better idea would have just been doing it like kind of like we were talking about how they did with the anthology earlier. You should just do a trilogy and you do the 3 kind of eras of their career, right? Like
yeah.
That makes the most sense to me, at least. You know, kind of the backbeat era, the middle era, and then you know, then the drug era and the wrapping it all.
Yeah, it's amazing how much they changed in such short time. And was Johnny Storm in this Beatles movie?
He's one of them.
He's one of them. He's playing who is he playing? George Harrison. Yep. Yeah, four biopics focus on each member of the Fab Four, be released in cinemas 2028. Wow. So but it's gonna be one movie with 4 sections, or each one is gonna be a 2-hour movie?
That's my guess, is each one's gonna get a movie of their own, and I don't know if it's gonna cover the same ground as far as like just from different points of view, or that's what I'm saying. Like I have no real idea what he's gonna do with this. I'm curious to see what it is. I see why.
No, I'll watch
it. Makes sense, but
is it going to end up on Disney minus, or is it Disney does nothing to do with this?
It's a theatrical thing, as far as I know.
Yeah, so because everything's been going through Disney right now with the Beatles, it seems. Yep. But no, I'll definitely check that out. Of course, yep. As a Beatles fan, thank you for pointing that out. Yep. But yeah, I just love the tech that's able to give us this stuff too. Like AI is not all bad either. There's a lot of good stuff. It's like any tool; it can be really used for good or evil, right? I mean, look at weapons of war, right? Or nuclear power. It can be used.
AI can't make new things exactly either. That was kind of my point.
Right.
Like it can't create exactly a new artist. It can't create a new sounding artist. It can't create a new musical sound, not without some kind of manipulation of sorts. But yeah. There's I Want to Hold Your Hand.
Yeah, that's a classic Zemeckis movie. Yep, that Jeff is pointing out. Yep, there's a lot of great Beatles stuff, and of course, could they be credited with creating the music video, or did it happen earlier? I mean,
I kind of credit them with the modern video because they made it like a short film in a way, like. Because if you go back, and even a lot of the earlier quote-unquote music videos on MTV still were just the bands singing their song on a stage.
Yeah, like, just playing, yeah.
And that was because those were like promotional videos that the company would put together. The music video itself morphed over time. I mean, you can really kind of pinpoint between the Beatles. You could probably give a little credit to the Monkees, even with Head. And then you jump into like... Pink Floyd, The Wall, I think it was heavily influencing that. Michael Jackson played a large part of that. I mean, you can't take that away from him at all. Because he really, really kind of introduced the idea of a short film, being a music video.
Yeah.
And I mean, you see the evolution through his videos as you go through. You see how he was changing the game every step of the way, and Prince was kind of clicking on his heels with that kind of shit. But no, I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess you could. I really don't see anybody else who was doing that kind of stuff first. Yeah. There was a few out there that were doing like the similar things for promotional bits, but that's basically how the music video started. It was just a promotional thing that the companies would come up with so they could help promote stuff on television if they didn't have the band playing live. And 9 times out of 10, some of these bands were resistant to playing on television because they were just lip syncing anyway.
Lip syncing, yeah. They weren't really playing, yeah. So they hated the way it sounded, yeah. But yeah, the Beatles just opened up so many avenues. Or Strawberry Fields Forever.
Well, that was why the Beatles were kind of the first, because what they did is they weren't able to show up, so they would send these promotional videos out to the, I think even Sullivan was one of the first ones to show one of their promotional things, wasn't he?
Yeah, we were just in the article. Yeah, it said a couple of things were taped. Yeah, so but yeah, it's just they're groundbreaking in so many ways. So whenever the Beatles are overrated, I always say, shit, I wish we had 100 more bands that are as overrated as the Beatles. I mean, yeah, you don't like their music or it's not your thing, but you can't say that they didn't change music history in terms of their technique and skills and songwriting.
I can see a lot of the they're overhyped and whatnot. But what I don't like is when people are like, "Oh, they're just like a boy band." It's like, well, yes and no. They kind of were the like every boy band. It's an essential boy band
to start.
Yes. But, like, there was no other band like the Beatles at the same time there was the Beatles. Like, NSYNC had their Backstreet Boys, right? You know what I mean? Like, you always had kind of like that. There was always that. Even the closest thing would maybe even be New Kids on the Block, right? Like, even that was kind of manufactured. And sure, the Beatles were partially manufactured, don't get me wrong. But you still had to have the talent behind them. And that's where they rose above all that. And by the time you get to the... Yes, you could say that the boy band kind of stuff you could kind of point at and say, yeah, the earlier part of their career. But when they were kind of going in their own direction, they were literally changing music. And there's an entire generation of musicians where they say flat out, like, oh, well, we just wanted to be the Beatles. So that to me changed, like that. It doesn't matter how you feel about the Beatles. You can think they're as overrated as you want. They changed music.
Yeah.
I mean, like not just music, they changed the world, but I mean, especially music. Right, it's just like, hardly any of these other bands possibly would exist if it wasn't for the Beatles. Kind of like how the Beatles wouldn't exist if it wasn't for, like Elvis Presley and Buddy Holly, basically, So
and all the black musicians, from jazz, the blues, and basically they loved American musicians, especially the black musicians, and they kind of put their own take on it. They started playing skiffle music, and England was hugely popular.
I mean, you had some 50s competitors like the Rolling Stones and whatnot, but I wouldn't even compare them to the Beatles in any way as far as the type of music and the style they were doing. I mean, you had the British invasion, but that was in the wake of them, right? I mean, it was because the Beatles took off the way they did. Because before the Beatles, you had maybe a few acts that were able to kind of break through the international barrier, but not many.
Yeah, and I'd say the Beatles were rivals to the Stones in a friendly sort of way, right? And I love the Rolling Stones, but just nowhere near in my opinion,
they're technical both rock groups, but it's like kind of like trying to compare like the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band to Guns N' Roses almost. It's kind of like
The
Stones I know it's a random, but like,
the Stones would be like, you got to see the Stones in concert, right? Great concert. Some of my favorite songs are Rolling Stones songs, but I don't think they were as groundbreaking in terms of changing the technology.
No, the Stones went to their own kind of beat, the rhythm of their own beat. Stones had more of an influence probably on punk rock, if you probably want to get into it. Like, whatever the Beatles did for just standard pop and rock music, that's what the Stones probably did for like punk rock. I would imagine they really had more influence probably on that genre than anything. That's just my opinion, of course. But
and this is not on track with the Beatles. But Kojo was saying that Robert Downey Jr. got in a fight with on set of Doomsday with Terrence Howard. Do you hear that, Tom? Or we'll get back to the Beatles. But
was it Terrence Howard? Because I heard it was Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, Ryan Reynolds. You got like a fight with? Yeah. Well, he's
Terrence Howard. Well, that would be like, well, that's the last day Terrence Howard's working there, I guess.
Right.
But Ryan Reynolds is a different story.
Oh wow! So you heard
See,
that?
I didn't hear about Terrence Howard, but I heard Ryan Reynolds was the one he was butting heads with.
Okay, yeah, the two big stars, right? Yeah,
yeah, the one guy you can't fucking fire, yeah,
right, yeah, Robert Downey Jr. and yeah.
So sad you're not going to be in this movie, Mister
Mr. Howard. Yeah,
Mr. Howard. That'd be the end of that.
You later. Yeah.
It's sad that you died in between movies.
Yeah. And hail to classic comics. Yep. Now, Ozzy
Actually,
was
he'd be like,
the Beatles,
I can call up motherfucking what's his face, bring it back in an instant. No, what the hell's his name? The original.
Yeah, who got fired? Yeah. Because he wanted too much money. Yeah. So oh God, who was that? It wasn't.
What the hell's his name?
Don Cheadle's.
Oh no, that's who Terrence Howard. Who's yes.
Yeah, Terrence Howard. Yeah, Terrence Howard.
So Terrence Howard. Yeah, Don Cheadle. Okay, that's where we flip flop.
Yeah, flip flop. Yeah.
So no, he wouldn't have gotten into a fight with Terrence Howard on the set.
Yeah, because Terrence Howard is out. Yeah.
No, but if Don Cheadle got into a fight, he'd be like, I can call Terrence Howard right now and replace you.
Yeah.
Damn it,
right?
We fucked up our own joke.
Yeah, it's screwed up our own joke, right? Yeah. You get stream brains sometimes here, folks. Yeah, it happens to the best of us. Yep. So, but I'm really looking forward to this anthology. I didn't know that they had released that, so when the show's over, I'm gonna listen to that over and over a few times.
Reynolds are playing people that have the same view as honestly, the way that come out now, it doesn't even probably sound like Snipes gave a shit much about Ryan Reynolds. To be honest with you, it sounds like he wasn't even aware if at all Ryan Reynolds said anything bad, and he just had a bad experience on the movie and didn't associate with anybody afterwards, is what it sounded like.
Yeah. It's just it'll get all worked out in the end, but I'm not.
My understanding was the story is that somebody asked Wesley how he felt about Ryan Reynolds, claiming that he was a horrible actor and horrible to work with, and all he did was sit in his trailer and smoke weed all day or something like that. And Wesley's like, I don't know what the hell he's talking about or something like that. And that was like the extent of it. And I think he denied smoking the weed, but we all know better than that. Like, I've heard so many fucking stories about famous stories about when Wesley Snipes would walk out of his trailer. It was almost like he had a smoke machine because
he was smoking ribs. I think.
Yeah, just making ribs in there. Yeah.
And hey, Oliver, how's it going? Yep.
Let's just say there's a reason why Blade acts so cool all the
time. Mr. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. So when is this coming out? The anthology is coming out.
This will be in November, I think.
For Christmas. Perfect for Christmas gift,
right? Christmas, yeah. Same time-ish that the original one came out. Yeah.
Yeah. So Freebird, Real Love, as we talked about. Yep. And then the tape was eventually passed to Yoko Ono. And Jeff Lynne was working on it too.
Jeff Lynne helped him
to play it. Yeah. So and Now and Then. Same tape from the basis. Yeah, Now and Then, which that was 2023.
Maybe all three of them were on that tape. It's hard to say. Yeah, I don't know. I would think
might have been
recording, but yeah.
And then the Beatles '64 documentary produced by Scorsese. So they've had some great Beatles stuff. Yeah, and then I did watch the new version of Get Back that they released. Or Let It Be. Have you watched that on Disney Minus,
yes.
Tom?
I was unhappy with how much manipulation Peter did with the AI, but otherwise I was so glad. It was
you get to see it again.
Well, it was one of the most. I mean, just that version of it in and of itself was just breathtaking because it's like being a fly on the wall in 1968, 67, whatever it was, that they were doing that, and like just to see that of the Beatles doing that.
Well, I'm talking they actually re-released Let It Be.
I rewatched it. It's fine.
I didn't think it was as good, nowhere near as good as Get Back. Yeah.
Oh no, Get Back is like, as far as I'm concerned, that replaces it.
Yeah,
in my opinion, and that's my
You did see some different footage, and I can see why.
Yeah, it's nice that they actually did that, though. I'm surprised that Paul allowed that, but
yeah, because famously he didn't want that anywhere to see the light of day again. Yeah.
Well, what's funny about Get Back is it's almost worse because with Get Back, like that's what I loved. I don't know if I'm sure you did watch like the making of it and stuff like that, where Peter Jackson was talking about like how the guys were trying to cover up what they were saying all the time by plugging in an instrument and just jamming, and then it would just kind of bleed out whatever they were talking about. Well, now it's a new technology. He was able to separate it all, so now we can hear everything, and we can kind of hear the little dialogue between them all and the shit that was going on. And to me, that's what I was saying. Is like you're like a fly on the wall getting to hear the Beatles for the first. And it's weird because
it's like you're there in the rehearsal, right?
Yeah, but it's not just that. It's like I love how Get Back was presented in a way that it's like they have no fucking clue what they're doing. And that's what I love about it. Is like we think about the Beatles in this way, like they always knew what they were up to. They were kind of ahead of the game in certain things, and they were on certain things. But when it came to Get Back, and you could tell they were getting near the end because they're just like, what do we do? Like we're going to do this movie thing. They're going to do this premiere thing on this, and then they were going to try and do this big, huge like
concert
somewhere. It was like and I love watching them just kind of brainstorm this thing, and while you watch,
they had no idea,
the thing come together, and it's just amazing how this, and it makes you wonder how often this does happen for most bands, and you see this even in film, right? Like I mean, famously, a lot of films are made this way, especially back then, where like Jaws or Caddyshack or some other ones where they're like, there's no way they expected them to turn out this way when it came to what they were supposed to be originally. And you listen to their first initial ideas for what their album was supposed to be and the whole concert idea, and then the inspired idea,
crazy ideas for the concerts.
Yeah,
right?
I think it was Ringo who just said maybe we should just do it on the bloody roof.
Yeah, because weren't they going to go to Egypt at one point too?
Yeah, they were going to do all this crazy shit.
Yeah.
They're kind of ahead of the game because it wasn't too many. That was only a couple of years, I think, or was it just around the same time Pink Floyd did it, or just before Pink Floyd did the Pompeii thing?
Yeah, because and then Live at Pompeii, they re-released that too in 4K. I got to pick that up. That's a great concert. But I think,
that was my point.
I think it was after the Live at Pompeii. Yeah, they kind of.
So I think they were trying to compete with them at that point or whatever. But
yeah. Because they were supposed to have and they actually never had that concert at Pompeii. Well, they just filmed it. They wouldn't let them have an audience there. I think that was the compromise.
And I'm sure the Beatles would have run into the same conflict. I'm sure.
Yeah, on the pyramids. Yeah. They got kicked off the roof. Yep. Oh, in the Dead Man's Song. But remember when they were going to talk to George? Was it George when George had left the band and they went in the other room and then they planted a microphone in a plant in the cafeteria, so they got all that conversation. Yes,
and I've heard some of these bits in here and there. See, like for years, a lot of the audio tapes from this had leaked out, but of course a lot of it was unheard. Like Peter Jackson was saying, you couldn't understand anything Paul or John or any of them were saying because they were jamming in the background and you had 4 or 5 other people talking. So you had some people just trying to interpret some of the things that were being said. So I had heard a lot of these tapes over the years, but yeah, this documentary really kind of sealed up a lot of little holes and stuff where fans had been trying to figure out, when George left, what the hell happened. And, and I think that Get Back was the first time we had seen any of that footage because they used some of it in the anthology. And I think that was because I don't know if it is in the original Let It Be documentary where George and Paul basically get into it, and where George decides he's going to leave, because Paul is like trying to get something out of George, and George just doesn't get what he wants, and he's like, "Look, I'll play it however you want me to play it, or I won't play it all if you don't want me to play it all." Right? Like, and then afterwards, like that was the whole thing was like something about like, why don't you just go get bloody, like Eric Clapton in here or some shit.
Yeah.
Like, it was.
He got fed up. Yeah, whatever. Because Paul was taking over. Yeah, Paul was like the general. But that was his. He was probably, you consider him, I guess, the leader. The sessions, right? Yeah, as you watch it, like he's the guy that wants to get shit done, right? So, and you do kind of need someone like that. But he did insult George the way he said. I could see where Harrison would get pissed off by the way he said what he said.
Well, I think it was just a lack of. At that point, I think the problem was Paul was trying to be too directive, and they had no direction.
No
I think that
Epstein.
was the issue.
Yeah, no Brian Epstein anymore, unfortunately. Yep.
And
So,
you needed that daddy figure in there going, no, let's just do this. Like, y'all are nuts. We're not going to the fucking pyramids. Get in there, record these fucking songs, and we'll make a movie or something, and we'll come up with something between now and then. You know, like, not to be punny and use that phrase because of the song, but I think that's basically what somebody like an Epstein would have done had they had them guys like, look, I'll decide where we end up doing this. You guys worry about the fucking music. Because you're right, that's what they needed. They needed somebody, not Linda, but somebody to kind of rein them in and go, look, I'll worry about the logistics and all this other bullshit. You worry about this part. And then it would have been able, they probably could have actually, because if they had somebody like that, they could have facilitated. Because what they did is no different than what Good Morning America does all the time.
Switch it up, right? Yep.
Like just basically do a street concert, or like when Radio City Music Hall does something, they have the band play out on the awning.
On the street, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and to me, I think they would have just set it up with some kind of thing to where they wouldn't have had it. And it's funny watching it because the cops are so fucking polite about it.
Yeah.
Because in America, that's not what would have happened at all.
Yeah, especially today, yeah.
No, no. The only thing would have stopped them probably would have been like these big-ass bodyguards kind of arguing with the cops, but like otherwise, those cops would have floored any fucking rock band doing that in America now. Like, no way.
Of course, the funny thing is, like, the Beatles are so world famous. It's like, how could you shut the Beatles down?
They're even nice enough to let them finish their set. That's the beauty of it. They're all just jamming, listening to them. They're like, yeah, as soon as they're done, we're gonna have to take them
unplug it. Yeah, so those cops, and they were stalling them downstairs. Yeah, that's what's so much fun to watch that document. You know,
that thing was almost like a movie in and of itself, right? Like,
yeah, just that concert part was just hysterical.
Like, I could see somebody doing like, have you seen the new? It's not brand new, but it came out like a year ago. The SNL movie that Jason Reitman directed.
Yeah, that was great.
Now, if you did something
fun.
like that in the same vein for this concert,
of the concert, getting the concert done, right? Yeah,
like from like Neil Espinal's point of view or something, like, you know, one of the guys that was running interference and shit, like the whole thing. I think it'd be kind of funny. I think it'd be a really fun movie to see.
Yeah.
You don't even really have to show the Beatles. That's the beauty of it, right? Like,
or you could just end with the Beatles.
Well, you can show just actual footage.
Yeah,
you just have it all happening in the background. You hear the music in the background. You hear all the commotion, but it's all about keeping the cops from getting upstairs and stuff.
Right. Kick them out. Hold the door. Yeah. Hold the door. Hold door. Hold the door. Right. Get the guy from Game of Thrones.
I mean, of course, you can amp it up a little bit, but
yeah.
That's what I liked about Saturday Night is they clearly did, because you and I and anybody who's seen the first 5 years of Saturday Night Live knows that half the shit they reference didn't even happen in the first episode or even the first season. And then like the Milton Berle thing, that happened during like season 4 when he was actually on the show, and some of the other, they just shoved it in there because they were famous stories, right? Like,
just put them all together. Yeah, who cares? Yeah, put them all together. Yeah.
But no, otherwise I thought that was really great how they put that together, like this breakneck
day in the life,
trying to get the first show on, and some of it is very accurate, actually. It's
then what I did, I watched the first show after I watched the movie, and a lot of it is in that movie, obviously. And
I just meant not just that, but the whole Johnny Carson stuff. All that shit is true.
Yeah, and a lot of competition back then.
Well, they were ready to cancel them before they were even live. Like they were all that stuff that was going on. That stuff is actually true in the movie. The stuff they amped up, like I said, was all the background stuff, some of the stuff with Chevy Chase and
the fighting. Yeah.
Because a lot of that stuff took place over the years, not so much in one night, but like,
yeah. But just SNL, just unbelievable story that made it to air, and then just all the personalities, and Andy Kaufman is doing the Mighty Mouse thing. It's like if you describe that to someone, it's like, how the hell is this going to be fun?
Oh, have you seen the Jim Carrey movie based on his life?
Oh my god,
that is one of the greatest biopics ever.
Yeah,
and if anybody thinks any of that's bullshit, I got something to tell you that none of that's really bullshit. In fact, there's probably more shit that you could have put in there that they didn't have time for.
Yeah.
Andy was a nut.
Just crazy. Yep.
I think the only thing they embellished and made up in that movie was like his parents' reaction to his shit. Because as far as I know, his parents were always kind of like very supportive of Andy.
Okay. Yeah.
In fact, they're probably too supportive and encourage this shit a little too much because they even played into some of the shit sometimes.
Yeah, all the crazy stuff that he made up, and
his brother especially, and his sister would help too, yeah.
And then years later, we found out the famous, the wrestling stuff was all made up, but of course, at the time, they're trying to make it out to be,
Oh, I credit Andy for like basically creating the modern soap opera of like the
wrestling.
WWF shit. Yeah.
Yeah. With all
before that, it was just the heels and the baby faces, and they would just have their little back and forth. But Andy was the guy who got in there and started this whole drama with it, right? Like bringing in
on Letterman. Was he on Letterman when they got?
That was part of it with him and Jerry Lawler, and they were in on it together. But they made it like it was real, and that's where like there was that thing where I think I don't know if McMahon was like inspired by this, but that was that moment where he had that. There's this line of, is he really being real, or is this just a fucking act still?
We don't know.
We can't tell.
Which is the beauty of it.
And it's kind of scary.
Yeah.
And Jerry's sitting there beating the hell out of him on fucking Letterman, and he's like, I'm going to fucking sue you, and I'm going to fucking sue you. And
yeah. Yeah, that was a famous. And
but what it was is just Andy playing the heel, like playing it up big time. Like he wanted them to hate him.
Yeah. And then they had, then he came out with a neck brace. Yeah, here's Andy Kaufman's out with the neck brace.
It was all
years
fake.
ago.
It was all fake.
All fake. Yeah, but we found out they kept that under wraps for years.
Yep.
I mean, it was after Andy was gone that they.
Yep. Jerry was sworn to secrecy, and that's like his other buddy. I forgot his name, but his buddy also was helping him with a lot of that stuff. He was actually Tony half the time, just to kind of help. Secure the whole, like, is he really Tony Clifton, or is this Tony Clifton a real guy? Like,
yeah. Right. Oh, and hail Lemon Pie. Great to see you, Lemon Pie. Yep. Yeah, Andy wanted to be the bad guy, right? Yeah. He was never.
They did a great job with the movie. Like, none of that is embellished, even really. Like, they did a really good job of capturing it all and kind of really good reality. And I was impressed. Like, I was so sad that Jim Carrey did not get nominated. Like, that was a huge mistake.
Phenomenal on that one. Yeah, he was great. Yeah.
He wasn't Jim Carrey playing another Jim Carrey character. He was Andy Kaufman.
Well, they said they would. People got pissed at him because he never went out of character. They said.
I love. Did you see that documentary that was on Netflix?
Yeah. So they were just like he was just driving everyone insane, right? I mean, he's just.
Well, he got kicked off the Universal lot at one point for fucking showing up with a bunch of hookers dressed as Tony Clifton. Real hookers,
yeah, not rugby players.
No, and I love that. My favorite part of that documentary, though, is when Milos calls him. He's like, Jim, I can't take this anymore. I can't take Andy. I can't take Tony. I can't do it anymore. And he goes, there's a long pause on the phone, and Jim goes, well, Milos, I can come in on Monday and I can be Jim Carrey pretending to be Andy Kaufman. I can be Jim Carrey pretending to be Latka. And I could be Jim Carrey pretending to be Tony Clifton. But that's up to you. And then he goes, there's another long pause. And Milos goes, no. I just wanted to talk to Jim for a minute. I'll see you on Monday.
See you on Monday. Yeah, and then he was wrestling women. He was referred to himself as an intergender wrestling champion of the world.
Well, then you find out, and this is the truth of it, is he's just a kink of his, really, at the end of the day.
Right? Yeah. And of course, if you haven't watched Taxi, make sure you watch. Watch Taxi. Yeah.
He tried to get Taxi. That shit's real too. He hated Taxi.
He hated Taxi. Yeah.
Fucking hated doing it.
Stuck there every week.
Well, Andy didn't like being pigeonholed into doing anything. Like, he liked being able to just kind of. Well, that was the thing. Television to him was bullshit. It was canned laughter. It was all bullshit. He couldn't get a real reaction out of anybody, and that was what Andy lived on. You could tell. That's the kind of
live
guy.
He loved the live performance.
He's the kind of guy who wants to get. He's playing a joke on the fucking audience most of the time. Like I've like there was like Gene Shalit was talking about. He was in the fucking audience the day that, or not Gene Shalit, the other critic,
Siskel.
No. Michaels. He was on with Ebert a few times, but I'm trying to think of his name.
Oh yeah, the guy from Chicago, or
I think so. Yeah, he's from Chicago. He's got a mustache.
Yeah.
But it's not Gene Shalit, it's the other guy. Anyway, he was talking about being in the audience that night, and he couldn't believe it that Andy was just, because the joke was he was reading The Great Gatsby, like just reading The Great Gatsby, and everybody's like waiting for the fucking joke, and they're like, "What's the joke here?" And they're like, "Do Lodka and all this shit." And he's like, "You guys really want me to do Lodka? You want me to do Mighty Mouse? Okay, fine." And he pulls out the fucking record player like he's gonna do Mighty Mouse, and everybody starts cheering. And he plays the record, and it literally picks up right where he left off with The Great Gatsby. So he set that bit up specifically. He knew exactly how long, exactly how long that those people would put up with it before they would start bitching. And if you didn't get that joke at that point, then you're done. And like he said, like people started leaving after a while, and he tried to hang in there, but he just couldn't. But like, there was a few people who did. They stood through the whole thing waiting for the joke, and like there was no joke. That was the punchline. It was just, and that was Andy. He just wanted. Sometimes if you pissed him off or whatever, he just tested your patience.
A true genius, right? Yeah, just the cut. Yeah, these creative people are just wholly original, right? You know, don't give a shit what anyone else thinks.
That shit actually happened. It wasn't like they make it up for the movie. Yeah. It really happened. He did that shit. The same thing with Carnegie Hall, the whole fucking bit. Everything that's in that movie is true. That's the fucked up part. This is one of the few times you actually get the truth about Andy Kaufman.
And he died way too young, too.
And some people don't even know if he really did die.
Yeah, people say, they allegedly faked his death or something.
If there's anybody... That's the thing. Everybody...
He's with
some
Elvis
of the closest people, they're like, I love Andy. I've known him just as well as anybody else, and he's the one person I would not put it past.
Fake his own death,
and not just to fake his death, but never come back.
Never come back either, right? Yeah.
Not like he would do it in some way for like some grand, reappearance.
No, he would never come back.
Checking the fuck out.
Yeah, he'd never come back. Yeah.
Well, we got a super. He hated being pigeonholed as a comedian because he didn't think he was a comedian. He thought of himself as a performer. And, there wasn't those kind of guys around anymore, right? Like, he was like the last of him.
It's almost like a vaudeville performer in some ways. Yeah.
Where you're in on the joke and he's in on the joke, and it's all about the crowd and interactivity, and that's what he was all about.
Because the Mighty Mouse thing that I can't play it. It's SNL, get nuked in a second, but it's not. He's not being a comedian that when he's performing there. It's just
the joke is in his fuck ups. That's the joke.
Yeah, he's getting
doing
it wrong.
Perfect impression up until he does the one or two fuck ups, and that's the joke.
Yeah.
You laugh at the initial idea, and then he is such a
his timing is off. On
the
purpose.
First autistic comedian probably is what he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, the joke is in his timing being off. Exactly.
Yeah. We come to save the day. It's so absurd, the whole thing's absurd, and you're just dying of laughter as you watch it.
Well, it's the type of shit he used to do just to entertain himself and his brother and sister, right? Like, and he's just sitting there going, well, if it was enough to entertain us, then
gotta be good enough for you schmucks, right?
Yeah.
And we do have another super chat here from the Dead Man for $4.99. Thank you, the Dead Man. Tom, does Midnight Edge have something in store for Halloween this year? Nosferatu 4K was perfect timing. First time actually seeing the movie last year.
I want to do something with either Little Shop of Horrors or Night of the Living Dead, so stay tuned on that. I'm way behind on some things, so hopefully we get to that sooner than later. I don't know if it'll be as extravagant is Nosferatu, because see, the beauty of Nosferatu is it didn't have the music, and the music it did have was technically incomplete, even though they claimed it was the full original score. It was fudged, and they also had fucked up the color timing and all that kind of business. So for other things, it depends on how much people will allow us to manipulate and have fun with them, I guess. Now,
because that's public. Nosferatu is public. The original movie, obviously, public domain for many years.
So is Little Shop, and so is Night of the Living Dead. So
yeah.
And now with Little Shop,
you get nailed with the clip, the music sometimes though. Remember, Clobbering times we played Superman, the intro to Superman, the Fleischer cartoons.
Yeah, the Fleischer and some of those other ones have like different things that are kind of attached to them. Now we got lucky, and I've uploaded Little Shop, so that one's fine because I think most of that music's all public domain stuff. Now,
so how does that work if the movie's public domain but the music's not? You have to clip the music out. That's
the beauty with AI now is we can separate it all.
Separate it, right? But so is that how it works though?
kind of. Like Little Shop, I haven't had to worry about anything, so that one will probably just load up as is. But Night of the Living Dead, I'm curious about, because like you just said, there's a lot of canned music in that one that might be copyrighted. Now, the movie itself isn't, but the music might be. Because like I uploaded the trailer years ago thinking, oh, it'll be fine because, you know, the movie's in public domain. Well, the music got nailed, like you just said.
Yeah, the music gets right.
Yeah, so I'm wondering with Night of the Living Dead, what I might do, and this is where I don't know if people will be okay with this or not, is I might strip the audio, use AI to strip out the vocal and sound effect part, and do my own score.
Make it your own, yep.
Yeah, and I don't know if people will be okay with that or not, but if that one's a plausibility because of what you're just saying, because if we can't get away with that one, I'm sure we can get away with the video aspect of it, but not the audio music part.
Because it doesn't make any sense when you think about it. Like the soundtrack is integral to the music, but then you can't. So you can. The movie's in public domain, but you know, how does that work? Right? Could they play it on TV then without? You know, I guess it's all this stuff is so complicated with these soundtracks here. You know, so many shows.
And with broadcast licensing, that opens you up for certain things too, like with radio and other things like that. But like. Yeah, for video,
like
though,
Freaks and Geeks for many, many years wouldn't come to DVD because they couldn't get the rights to the music or couldn't afford the rights, and then they finally got the because the music is so integral to Freaks and Geeks. When you watch that, it's they they're trying to become some of the kids are so into music and one of the drummer he thinks he's the next drummer for Led Zeppelin and he's a total disaster, but you can't, the show doesn't work without those soundtracks. If you watch Freaks and Geeks, Tom, I'm guessing TV show, have you ever seen that or that was James Franco's
Honestly,
first.
No, I'm aware of it, but I never actually watched
Jason
one episode
Segel.
of it. Yeah.
Oh God. Oh, it's only one. I think it's only one season. Oh, it's phenomenal. It's one of the best things ever. Seth Rogen's in it, unfortunately, but James Franco, I think it's his first role, and God damn, it's so they're going to high school 881, and music is just so huge to them. So Linda Cardinale is the lead, and of course she's just incredible. And it's just slicing the life of teenagers in the early 80s. So I'd try to watch it if you have a chance. It should be on only 18 episodes. So it's a Paul Feig. How do you say his name? Feig, Judd Apatow, and of course we famously Paul Feig with Ghostbusters. But this is 2016 disaster. But this is just phenomenal. Like they're playing some Grateful Dead, Box of Rain. And it's just perfect when you're listening to watching the show and what the Linda Cardinale is going through. Just amazing. So that's my Freaks and Geeks rant. But it doesn't work without the music. So but that's interesting. You could do your own music or soundtrack, right? And put it in. Yep.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do if we run into that, because I'll probably just upload, because I have seen people well, here's the thing. Like, I've heard the Criterion version is technically not copyrighted, but they will go after you if you try to use their version, because they have the 4K version out there from the negative. But I've seen people load that version up, which is great, and it's a beautiful version of the movie. It's the best it's ever looked. Yeah. But I'm wondering if we do our version, because I have a 35 millimeter scan of an old print of it.
Oh, you do
it
actually?
It kind of has that grindhouse kind of feel to it.
Wow, yeah.
So I'm wondering if we do that version plus my new soundtrack, and I'll actually do like a new stereo surround sound mix on it along with the new score. But I just wonder how resistant, because there was some people resistant to our Nosferatu, and it's like, it really doesn't even technically have an official, like, they're like, yeah, but it doesn't fit. It's like, okay, I get you. I get you don't like what I did, but okay.
Because in the movie, like, when they had a live person playing piano sometimes in the movie houses, right?
Yeah, and they claim they found all the music, but Andre is insistent that they did not. And I don't know, I think he has some source somewhere that he had looked up and found out that, they only had pieces of what score they had, that the guy had initially written for the movie, because they didn't really hang on to it. Because like you were saying, like, as they would re-release the movie over the years, it would usually get cut down so that original score wouldn't fit anymore. So 9 times out of 10, just whatever local guy would just come up with whatever something that would sound like the mood. You know, like
Yeah,
they're
they're just doing mood.
thing.
Yeah. They're not. Yeah, they didn't have the money or the time for that,
Now,
right?
America was a little bit more rigid, and they had beholden things like they'd send it all out and make it a big part of the deal. But like, you know, when you're getting stuff sent over from other countries, like that was even the bigger problem with Nosferatu is we're not even 100% sure that the version we have now is complete. Like Andre and I are pretty sure it's missing some stuff.
Yeah, did they at one point find like 20 minutes of it or something? Additional
Yeah, a couple of years
time?
back, and that's the version we have now.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, because since the original version released, because it took like 5 years for Bram Stoker's widow to win the case. Like, see, that's the thing most people don't understand is by the time she won her case and the movie was ordered to be quote unquote destroyed. I mean, the movie had already been distributed once through its initial release, and then I think
You're talking about the original Dracula?
The original Nosferatu itself.
Yeah, because of the copyright. Yeah, because they changed the name of the vampire. It's basically the Dracula story.
It is, and they didn't because they thought that they were doing they wanted to do Dracula, and I think what ended up happening is Bram Stoker just didn't have any desire to sell them the rights, or they just couldn't afford it. So like, oh well, we'll just change things, and they didn't understand that was going to make a difference. But they also wanted to tell their own story anyway, so they thought they were fine. Because if you really look at Dracula and you look at Nosferatu, like as far as Nosferatu goes, yeah, maybe Nosferatu is probably a little bit closer to the novel than the classic Universal Dracula. But at the end of the day, it has such little like the only resemblance is just kind of some of the original story structure, and then beyond there, they have completely different themes. They're told in completely different ways. Dracula and Orlok are completely different characters in a lot of ways. I mean, the only ones that have very similarities are kind of like Jonathan Harker and, you know, Thomas and Nosferatu are very similar. Outside of that, and I mean a little bit with Nock and Renfield. But even beyond that, there's very few similarities outside of just the setup. Because once the setup's over, like, it's a completely different story almost.
So they were supposed to destroy all the copies of the movie.
Yeah, but I mean, it had already been out. It had already been re-released at least once, if not twice. And that's the version we had for years, was that re-release cut. Because that's when people realized, oh, shit, we're going to lose this movie. So people didn't destroy it when they were ordered to destroy it. So
we're not destroying it.
Which is funny, because 9 times out of 10... that preserved the movie better than any movie could have been preserved.
Yeah.
Because we've got movies that weren't ordered destroyed that'll never be found again because they just never got re-released or the original copies were lost. I mean, even the guys who made Nosferatu, they've got other films that have been completely lost that weren't banned. They just weren't preserved.
Well, I think more than half of the silent films are gone.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
And of course, they were on flammable nitrate film. So that
some of them would just deteriorate to dust over time,
or fire. You have a fire,
or God forbid,
all the films would get destroyed. So
Universal famously had one not that long ago, actually, and we're still trying to figure out what was lost in that fire.
Yeah, you don't all the music that was going on, the master tapes.
Not just music; they're starting to find other things too. Yeah.
Oh, movies and oh my God, yeah, it's just and they covered it all up, right? I was just watching a documentary on that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Send me that. It might be one I haven't seen yet. I would love to because I remember covering that back when we first got going here on Midnight's Edge After Dark about a lot of that stuff. Because that was a travesty.
Find out which one I watched, but I remember it was like, oh my God, it's like, and then the artist they didn't even tell the artist, so the artists were suing too.
Well, they lied to the press. They told the press that all was in there was backups of old TV shows.
Yeah, and the originals are gone. The master tape, and the masters is what you use. We're talking about this, all about the Beatles tonight.
I think
and you'd have the
fire have something to do with the King Kong ride or some shit like that. I
can't
remember now,
the King Kong ride. It was the vault was next to the King Kong ride, and I think the Kong ride caught on fire. And of course, you can rebuild the damn Kong ride,
which is something that I guess happened a lot back then.
Yeah. So
that's the funny about these stories I hear about Universal Studios is nothing ever fucking worked back in the day.
Oh my
God, Never.
God.
The Jaws ride was always breaking down. The Kong ride was always setting on fire. The only one that I've ever heard anybody say they never had any trouble with was the earthquake ride. That was the only one that sounded like never went without a hitch. And that was probably one of the more complicated ones, actually. But yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun ride. And the Kong ride was great too. That was awesome. Yeah.
Sadly, I never got to experience it, but luckily there's people who
Right.
upload like videos and stuff of them on YouTube. But yeah.
Yeah, I was lucky to ride that. Yep. And David Jones there, yeah, watching WPIX channel 11. Well, if you watched WPIX, you remember they had a video game competition where the kid would be on the phone and they had like a cheesy video game, and like you'd have to shoot something or time something. There was like breakout, and you'd say picks.
Oh yeah.
It was like hysterical if you watch the video of that. But yeah, we were lucky in New York City area with channel 11 WPX and channel 9 WOR. So that's where you had like the Partridge Family, Star Trek, Brady Bunch, Gilligan's Island, the Monkeys or whatever, all those classic shows. The Honeymooners, of course, every night. Yep. So Hale West Kegel. Yeah. So I would watch Honeymooners were on, I think, at 11, right? Like you're saying. And then
okay, I gotta get out
and then
here soon, man.
You gotta get out. Yeah, we're having too much fun, Tom.
I know. I got so much work to do. I'm gonna be regretting it.
Yeah, we have so much fun hanging out, but
well, now I'm just avoiding doing work. That's the problem.
You're avoiding doing work. Yeah. So, well, real quick. I know I kept you this long. Might as well stay another couple minutes.
Yeah,
but
I'll
did
stay
you?
a few more minutes. But yeah.
Yeah, but did you watch? Well, what I've got on my background here. Did you watch Red Sonja, Alien Earth, or Peacemaker?
I didn't get a chance to watch Red Sonja yet.
Okay.
I did see that. That's around, so I will try and check that out in this next week, though. But I'll be gone for a while, so
yeah,
I'm going on vacation, hopefully. And then Alien Earth, I haven't watched since the first episode in a few minutes. I'm like,
you never went back to it. Yeah,
no.
Yeah.
And then the other thing you said, Peacemaker. Yes,
Peacemaker.
I did watch.
You did watch, yep. Well, Alien Earth. Well, I'll talk about more after you leave. But Red Sonja, it's definitely worth watching. It's a fun, sword and sorcery. Very predictable in some places. Obviously, derivative of Conan in many ways. And it's she's basically orphaned and trying to save her tribe and her there's magical creatures but it's the fight scenes are good and they make fun of her outfit in a good way, I thought. So that was definitely fun. Definitely worth watching.
We actually have a video coming on it.
Oh, good, yeah. And redheads are the best anyway, so yeah. So
well, in the video you might like because it basically is telling people, look, this movie may not be great, but it could be worse. We could have got much worse.
Yeah.
So we go through the stuff we almost got. So yeah.
It's fun. Yeah, it's not like as a made for TV. It's not. I know it was in theaters for a day here, but it's not. Maybe she's a little. All this stuff is going to be woke or this or maybe some of the stuff about saving the creatures in the forest or whatever. But it's definitely better than Snow White in terms of that.
Well, the
right?
problem you have is that it's still based on the Gail Simone script. That's problem number one. But what you have is, even though the director is a trans person, they actually don't carry that shit into their movies because, believe it or not, you've probably seen some of their work and didn't realize it. They directed a few episodes of like Reacher.
Okay.
And they used to work on Ash vs. Evil Dead. They actually directed the Solomon Kane movie from a few years back, which is based on a Robert E. Howard character as well. So they're very aware of the franchise. They've worked in a lot of stuff like this over the years. They transitioned like a decade ago, I think it was, even kind of before the whole woke business. But they've never been somebody who's out there like rah rights and we're going to insert this, that, and the other. In fact,
just tell the story, right? Yeah.
It sounds like from what our video coming out, and I trust Andre's sources and all this business on this, and he has access to some of the stuff. That MJ Bassett kind of saved us from a very woke, shitty Red Sonja movie that would have had the chick that played Ghost in the MCU in the Ant-Man movie.
Okay.
She was going to be Red Sonja.
Oh, okay.
And there wouldn't have been no chainmail bikini or anything like that.
Bikini. Yeah.
No. And I think they were going to go with the whole grape origin and stuff like that. I don't know what origin they went with here because you watched it. So
yeah, she's just and it's not really a spoiler, but she's just in the village, and the village gets attacked by the evil.
It's basically the Arnold Schwarzenegger intro.
Conan, yeah, that's what I was saying. It's very derivative of that. So, and she's orphaned, which is fine too, and she's living on her own, and she's protecting the woodland creatures. So there's a scene where like there's these mystical rhinoceroses that get, quote unquote, they're not rhinoceroses, but they've got these wonderful horns, and these hunters come in and they kill the creatures for their horns, which is horrific.
And that might be something from the original comics. I'm not even that familiar with Red Sonja.
I mean, that's okay though. Like you can't argue, oh, that's that kind of fits what they're doing with the character. But there was nothing overt in there, that I saw.
I'll trust Andre on this one because, like, I don't know if he's actually seen it yet, but first of all, the version we have of Red Sonja now, and you might know this, and some people in the chat, that's not even Red Sonja, actually. The original Red Sonja isn't even a contemporary of Conan, I guess. She's more of like a pirate.
Yeah.
And then, so what they did is, during, what was it, Thomas's run of Conan, they made her... Yeah, Roy Thomas, they made her a contemporary of Conan, and so she basically is female Conan now, is what she is. And that version now was what was separated from the Conan property and sold off to this other entity that Avi Lerner owns, or whatever, or he owns Millennium and he has the rights to it, or whatever it is, however it works out. Andre knows all this business.
Yeah.
So this is why, even though Avi was just asked about this at the premiere of this, if Conan and Red Sonja will ever get back together again, he was like humming and hawing about it, like saying, "Oh, you never know." No, they will never.
The rights are separate.
Ever. Yeah. Nope. They're even more separate than She-Ra and He-Man, which are very separate. That's the thing people don't understand. It's sad. It's hard to understand this because, as kids, they were created in the same universe.
Yeah, together. Yeah.
Like, how can they be separate now? They just are.
Yeah, it's capitalism, damn it.
And that's why Arnold Schwarzenegger wasn't allowed to be Conan in the original Red Sonja movie, even though he's pretty much playing Conan.
Yeah. Oh, RJ Godzilla does not like Freaks and Geeks. Well, I still like you, RJ. That's okay. But
I wonder if I'd like it now. I probably would have back then. I don't know if I would so much now.
It's been years since I watched. I did buy the high school edition, which has the DVD with all the special features. But I think it gets canceled. I think it's perfect as a one season.
Yeah.
18 episode. What I say is 18 or 14 episodes. Yeah. These show. That's 3 or 4 seasons of a show these days anyway. But yeah. As I always say, your mileage may vary.
Well, and I just rewatched 40-Year-Old Virgin again.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure is the reason that movie exists is because of Freaks and Geeks, right? So
no, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, well, because the idea came up.
A lot of it came up during the filming of the show, or
something. Well, Steve Carell came up with the initial idea, and then like you got like Seth Rogen and a bunch of those guys came. He was like the other guy who came up with part of the idea, and so like, and then also Judd Apatow, who came from Freaks and Geeks, and a few of the other guys. So like So it all kind of was like them making that jumping point from Freaks and for them, and they even talk a lot about in the stuff about how it was kind of vindicating for them because of how bad Freaks and Geeks had kind of gone down, and then to have the success they did with 40-Year-Old Virgin
was like massive movie.
Yeah. I mean, even parts of that though, I'm watching it now. I'm like, it's still good. It's a very funny film, but it's just like. Judd Apatow now has just gotten to that point where he rubs me the wrong way with certain things.
He just pisses you off.
And especially Seth Rogen. Like, oh my God. He's one I can barely even stand anymore.
Can't stand, right? Yeah.
Which is funny because I'm watching 40-Year-Old Virgin for the first time. I'm realizing, oh shit, his character is the only one who's right. All the years I've seen this movie never really dawned on me because you watch the movie and I kind of picked up on the pattern in the film this time I never noticed before because you're just laughing at everything that happens. But each one of his friends keeps giving him advice. Bad advice on their love life. And the only one who's right is the fuck up Seth Rogen. Everything he tells him works out for him. I noticed it this time. I'm like, it's the first time I ever noticed that watching the movie. And I'm just like, oh, okay. So the idiot, the guy who probably doesn't even have a girlfriend.
Gives all the good advice. Yeah.
He's like, just ask questions. Like, what? Yeah, just ask questions.
My favorite scene is when he gets the chest hair. They're doing the waxing and he's screaming.
But yeah, all the little advice that the few
stuff,
times that he gives him advice, it's the few times he's right. Or the only time he's giving good advice, and that's what helps lead him through the Catherine Keener character if you pay attention. Because he's like, I don't know what to say. He's like, well, that's why I just ask questions, because then she feels like you had a great conversation because all she's done is talk about herself for the last 20 minutes.
It is great advice, right? Yeah. And the dead man saying that was a long 5 minutes, Tom. Yes, it was. But Tom and I are having too much fun here. Is that damn it?
We
Mark?
do.
Yep.
We have a good time.
We have a good time hanging out. Yep. Never mind. Master tapes were one of those. Nirvana. Yep. Yeah, a lot of great.
Were they really? I was wondering about this Void King because I had read conflicting stories on that. See, I'd heard
they re-release that album.
Yeah.
Again?
See, that's the thing is a few of them. Like I think some of the Geffen owned ones were actually in a different location, even though they were thought to be there. That I'm not 100% sure on. So the Geffen one would include like the Nirvana stuff, Guns N' Roses, I think some of the latter Elton John stuff and some other stuff. Because that was the ones that that's the one where people are starting to notice. And I think that's one of the ones that set it off, was that people were asking about the Nevermind and the Guns N' Roses re-release of Appetite for Destruction and Nevermind, because they're like, did those come from the original master tapes or are they... And that's where like
copies, yeah.
Well, see, Universal was like playing word games. They're like, oh, they're from the original audio files that were from the original master tapes.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But the thing that I think was setting people off was that the Guns N' Roses LP and the Nevermind LP were supposed to they're being advertised as the original analog master. See, that's where everybody I think started asking some questions.
Yeah. So what happened? Yeah. What's
so
really happened?
I guess my understanding, and I could be wrong, and please, if you know anything else, send me the info on it. I'd love to see it. Because my understanding is that a lot of the Geffen masters were actually in another location and safe. But some of the other stuff wasn't. Like, that's where some of these other artists started finding this out, and Mark knows what I'm talking about. These guys would start asking, like, I want my original master tapes for this, and that, because I'm going to do an anniversary album, and we want to get all the outtakes, and we want to remaster it, and we want to do this, and they're like, and we don't know where it's at. Like, what do you mean you don't know where it's at?
Gone. Yeah, gone. Yeah.
Just,
yeah, totally.
And they wouldn't get straight answers onto where, like, what do you mean it's gone, or what's the deal? And these guys finally they basically had to sue him, I think it was, to find out what the fuck was going on. And then they found out that these were things that were possibly lost in the fire. And that's when we started the snowball started going, and we started finding out they had lost these masters for all these old blues record labels that will never be, like, entire catalogs, not just one artist, like entire studio catalogs of these old blues companies and stuff that Universal had brought up throughout the years and stuff.
Just unbelievable. And then some of the stuff, like, of course, you never replace a master tape, but you wonder if some of the stuff is gone for good, right?
Well, one of the ones I think I know that was in there for sure was the Buddy Holly masters.
Yeah.
I think, from my memory. And that was one that pissed a lot of people because they were really not forthcoming about that one either.
Yeah. So the fire was caused by maintenance workers used blow torches on asphalt shingles, leaving before ensuring
that's what it was. Yeah.
Shingles had cooled. Yeah.
So it had nothing actually to even do with the King Kong ride itself. That's right. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah. Sorry, Kong. But technically not them. But
they had been warned about that. That was what it was. And they did it on a day they shouldn't have. That was the other thing too, I think.
Yeah, and you always got to watch that. When you're working like that. We had a house in our neighborhood. This is the other common thing is painters working on. They use torches sometimes to remove the paint, or like working on these tiles. The other thing that is very common if you're working with solvents or redoing a floor. So we had this house. It's going to take a little bit. I'll try to make it as short a story as possible. But down the street from me, when growing up, there was a house that was abandoned for years, and like there are, overgrown with rats, and like there's plywood. And one of my actually very good friends ended up buying the house next door, and like it was a sad kind of story about guy had moved out of the house, and but wasn't living there, wasn't taking care of it, and it's a pretty well-to-do neighborhood. And but for years it was like you had this eyesore in the neighborhood, and someone bought the property. Finally, the gentleman passed away. But they bought the property. They had the whole thing fixed up, redone. Looks gorgeous. The house is totally done. They're finishing the floors, and the guys working on the floors threw all the rags with all the solvents on the wooden front porch, and the house fucking burned to the ground. You know, it spontaneously combusted, it reacts and started a fire, and it burned the whole, like they were like a week away from moving into the house, and they had to rebuild the whole house. And my friend's house next door got damaged, but minimally. Thank God it wasn't too bad. But yeah, it was just, you know, so like, you know, it's negligence there, but yeah, just talk. Let's see. I think they have a list of. Is there a list? I'm scrolling through this really fast, but yeah, list of artists. I mean, it's horrific of all the stuff that's gone. And I'm wondering if some of the stuff is gone forever too. Some of the more obscure tapes that were there, because you can never replace these masters, right? This is what you work off of as you're recording to make the album, to mix the album. So maybe with AI, they can go back now and separate. Well, that's kind of what they're doing with the Beatles stuff. But
at least with, I mean, the Beatles, that's like the thing, right? Like we were talking about earlier, is like the reason they were doing that is because they had no choice, right? Like,
yeah.
In this case, they had the originals, and some of them did have digital masters, and I think that's what they were kind of trying to say is like, oh yeah, we mastered them in digital years ago. It's like, that's great, but that technology is kind of out of date now. Granted, audio technology's kind of not changed all that much, but I mean, we do have sonically much better, you know, stuff, a lot better
Spinal
stuff now.
Tap master tapes are gone.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Spinal Tarp, yep.
So check and see if Nirvana's in there to answer the question from earlier.
Yeah, let's see. I don't know if this is alphabetical here, or is this, I can do a control F for
looks
Nirvana.
partially, it looks alphabetical by last name and by band name.
Oh, by band, okay. Yep, Nirvana's in here, yep.
Oh, I guess you were right.
So, yeah, you want Rick Ocasek, the car. Yeah, I mean, this is look how big. I mean, I'm just Kingsman Trio, Four Tops, Peter Frampton. I mean, it's horrific, and no fire suppression equipment, no.
Well, in some of these, you would have think that they would have been late enough. They would have been doing it digitally anyway. Like, I don't even understand why they would have had
Iggy Pop. Billy Preston, who the Beatles, right? Billy Preston almost became the fifth Beatle.
Yeah, he technically was, as far as they were concerned. He's credited on "Let It Be."
Yeah, so you could argue he's a Beatle at that.
A lot of
on
people
that album, at the very least, I would say.
And
right?
he worked on, I think, didn't he work a little bit on Abbey Road as well?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. But let's see, Buddy Holly, Weezer. I mean, this is just—it's not like Eric Clapton. I always call him Clapton. Just kidding. Yeah, Roy Clark. I mean, look how big.
Oh no,
this
I didn't see Buddy Holly in there. So Buddy Holly must be a different situation.
Let's see.
I heard those masters are missing too.
Oh.
But maybe they weren't universal.
Let's see here. Mamas and the Papas. Yeah. Let's see. Holly, if Holly's on here. Nobody. Let's see.
No, he might be a different. Might be different one. But I'm pretty sure I remember reading something about that.
Oh, recently. Buddy Holly. Yeah, no, Buddy Holly.
Yeah, so I was going to say that his are missing too. That's a big
son
one.
of a bitch, and he's part of where it started, right? I mean, just
he's one of the fathers of rock and roll. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
So, Little Richard, if he's on there too, that's basically both of them.
Yeah, the start of everything. Yeah. Kate Smith,
Chuck Berry.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Adamant. I mean, no, pretty much name them. They're on here, right? I mean, this is it's just terrific.
Neil Diamond, Bo Diddley,
Willie Dixon. Yep. Yeah, one of the most amazing blues and musicians. Yep. So James, of course, Led Zeppelin. I finally watched Becoming Led Zeppelin. God, that was a great one.
Oh yeah, that was fun. Yeah. Now I see things like Audio Slave there, and I'm like going, how is that even done on analog? Why wouldn't they have done them like they're newer?
All digital, right?
Yeah, you would have think.
Yeah. I would think anything.
So Aerosmith too. Digital. What the fuck? So yeah, all the Geffen tapes must have been in here.
Probably right. Yeah.
Fucking crazy. Bobby Darin too. Rodney Dangerfield. What the hell? There's even more than I knew of in here. Jesus Christ. Even Mellencamp's?
Oh, Mellencamp, yeah.
Jesus.
Oh, it's a nightmare. I mean, it's just
Sonny and Cher. Wow.
Yeah. Burl Ives.
Jeez. Yeah, I remember I just read about him. He was, I think, in the same thing I was reading about Buddy Holly.
Etta James.
Etta James too. Jeez.
Yeah, Fats Domino.
There's another pillar of rock and roll right there.
Yeah. Cat Stevens, Steppenwolf. Yeah, it's just I mean, it's a who's who of music history. Yeah, yeah. Elton John.
Don't tell me they got. Yeah, I was gonna say I know Elton John. Some of his stuff was under there too. Yeah, if not all of it.
Duke Ellington. Yep.
The Eagles.
Many of the Mutual. The Eagles.
Wow.
Yep.
I thought they were.
Eminem.
I didn't even know they were Universal.
Well, you wonder what's missing in terms of do bands have any of the copies?
Chuck
of
Berry
any of
is in there too.
Chuck Berry. Yep.
Yeah, right there.
Yep.
Jesus Christ. Wow. This was way worse than we thought.
Oh, yeah. It's just Martin Luther King. Yep. B.B. King. One of the most famous blues musicians. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, God.
Even the Three Stooges and the Three Dog Night? Jesus. It's almost like, it's almost like everybody's on here.
Pretty much everyone's here. Like names
who's it missing at this point? Like, let's throw out names because we haven't really.
Led Zeppelin, Leonard Skinner.
Jesus.
Zeppelin is Zeppelin.
There's Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
Yeah, Led Zeppelin. Are they on here? Well, they're a foreign band, so maybe not.
Yeah.
They might got lucky. They're probably
no
over
Zeppelin.
at,
No Zeppelin. Yeah.
Luckily, no foreign. It doesn't seem like too many foreign bands outside of Elton John.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder which masters of his, because I wonder if it's just the Geffen years.
Yeah. So
then again, I think Universal released his remasters of like Goodbye Yellow Brick Road and shit. So that'd be our luck, is they moved them over here. Some stupid shit.
Yeah.
Because Geffen probably bought the whole catalog or something.
Yeah. So here's the New York Times article.
It's like everybody.
Yeah, I don't want to pay for the New York Times. Sorry.
Is Meatloaf in there too? I mean, Jesus Christ. So I think he was under Universal as well, actually. Epic originally, but I think he moved over to Universal.
Meatloaf there.
Yeah, Meatloaf.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I mean, yeah, because they would have transferred the tapes over here. Surely.
Yeah, probably.
David Davis Jr. Yeah. It's it's just
well, that's the other thing I remember. I think I read somewhere is they were holding music that wasn't even theirs necessarily, just because they had the warehouse for it or whatever.
The warehouse, right? Yeah. Yeah, and it just all went up.
Supertramp. Well, there's one I couldn't believe to see on there, because aren't they foreign?
Yeah, Supertramp is. Yep.
Gene Kelly, even. Oh, Yoko Ono. Well, at least everything that was lost wasn't
Yoko Ono.
A loss.
Yeah. Dolly Parton. My God. Yeah.
Oh man.
I wonder, like, would you have? That's what I'm saying. Would you have these originals? Any of these artists have copies? Yeah.
They might have copies, but that's not the original.
Right. Yeah.
See, and that's the thing that like Prince was always bitching about, was that he didn't have access to his masters. Remember, that was what he was always upset about.
Yeah. So he didn't. Yeah, he was pissed. Right. Yeah. Oh, was Freaks and Geeks a Square Pegs ripoff, or to have it back?
No.
Well, I mean, they're in school, but other than having that, Freaks and Geeks is more about the music. There's music scene too.
I mean, I shouldn't even say that because I've never seen them, but I could just tell from the.
I mean, they're both high school music, but I wouldn't call either one a ripoff. It's
they're both about geeks and stuff, but
music is more integral to Freaks and Geeks in terms of the show.
It wasn't Freaks and Geeks supposed to be a bit more earnest, like it's a bit more.
Yeah, it's more slice of life in the day, more realistic. Versus, it's been years since I've seen Square Pegs, but Square Pegs was more.
Square Pegs is a bit
sitcom, cheesy sitcom, and Freaks and Geeks was trying to really look at what teenagers were going through. Yeah.
But John Fogerty, even I wonder if CCR's in there too. Harold Faltermeyer, so great.
Eartha Kitt, like you said, it's basically like who's not on here, at this point.
Wow.
Pointer Sisters.
Well, this is a lot worse than I thought.
Yeah,
I'm kind of really upset about this.
Yeah, it's sad. Yeah, especially it's modern times too. You've got smoke detectors and fire alarms, and you should have.
Well, if
vaults that
Rosanna
are,
Cash is on there, where's Johnny Cash? Did they lose his? Jesus Christ, that would be bad. There's Rosanna right there.
Cash, yeah. Let's see. Alvin Cash, Rosanna Cash.
They don't seem to see Johnny Cash at least.
No Johnny Cash. Yeah.
Wow.
But Ray Charles.
Shit. Yeah, he's under Universal. Yep. R.E.M.
Skinner, as we said. Yeah.
Tommy
Chuck
Rowe.
Mangione, who just passed away. Yeah.
Yeah. John Williams' music is in there too. That's what I meant. I wonder what though. They're not really specific.
Yeah, what's in there? Yeah, you wonder, but you think
it shouldn't matter.
Lucas would
still
have that. Yeah.
Not necessarily. See, that's the thing, and that's what I was trying to say
where they
earlier.
Store it, right? Yeah, they would store
the record
it, right?
companies generally have the only ones who have the original masters usually. That's kind of the whole point.
They
of
own
it,
right? Yeah.
Yeah, they own that master. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And Paul Williams music too. Jesus.
Neil Young.
That's the hell of it, I guess. To quote a Paul Williams song.
Yeah.
Even Rex and Effects. Holy shit.
Right.
See, and these are more that I would like. How are these not digital masters? Like Rex, by the time you get to like fucking Rex and Effects and Eminem, how are they not just doing it digitally? Because even Michael Jackson was doing all his stuff digitally by this point. Or that point, I mean, sorry.
Yeah, you would think so. Yeah, you wonder. Or I remember watching those Monster Weeks on Channel 11. Yep, that was awesome. Yep. Yeah, you wonder, like, wouldn't they, or do they talking about the destruction of digital stuff too? Like, could these
That's
have
what
like
I'm wondering, because
digital, like the USB?
I mean,
if
you got digital backups, fine, because digital's digital. But like, that's my question, right?
A hard drive's destroyed. Yeah.
But I mean, you can have backups of those and they'll be identical. That I'm not so concerned with, but I'm concerned with the original analog masters, if that's what these are. Because we're talking the multi-track masters, right? We're not talking just the master tape for like the record, like that they put on the album. We're talking all the multi-track masters that they record.
Everything that would be in the session. Yeah. Everything in the studio session, which is like when the Beatles anthology, a lot of that stuff you're getting
exactly.
Yeah, the outtakes or like version 36 of a song. And my wife is like, why the fuck are you listening to this? This crap,
because this part right here is different.
Yeah. And then she's like, what? How could you listen to this? I'm like, it's so freaking interesting to hear like the different versions of the song or as the song evolves. If you're a fan of the band, and you don't normally get that chance. It's only going to happen with a group as popular as the Beatles. Typically, right? Most bands that can't afford to, or aren't going to, release that stuff. So, it was. She's like, so we get in the car. I want to. If I ever get to talk to Paul McCartney someday, I'm like, Sir Paul, if you get in the car, does your wife ever say to you, "You listen to any channel you want, as long as it's not the Beatles channel"? That's what I get a lot of times. I get in the car. It's like, no Beatles today. I'm sick of them. Yeah. It's just terrific to see all this stuff. See, here's what UMG was they were bullshitting here too, where they're saying like, in this article, name of the class actually said we're not lost in fire, right? But this is like 6 years ago, right? And there's the picture of the fire there in the Universal backlot, and that's right near the King Kong. This is the ride here. It's like they were storing all this stuff.
Yeah, and just so people listening like to understand, this isn't something that like we're talking years ago. No, this is all stuff that's been happening in real time. Where, like I said, like we started covering the story when we first started, and even then we were just starting to learn some of this crap. Like I remember having TJ, the musician over on here. I'm trying to remember the name of his channel now, but and we just couldn't believe at how much then, and I'm learning more now. Like I'm kind of beside myself at this moment going, Jesus Christ, this is a bigger travesty than we even thought.
Yeah, no, it was much, much, much worse than that New York Times expose. Yep. So, just great. Yeah.
And I might have even seen the documentary that you're talking about, but I'd still would love to see just in case.
Yeah, I'll try to look at my history to see which one it was, but I think I just came across it was on the YouTubes, and I was like,
I remember seeing one not too long ago. That's like an hour documentary about the whole thing. I think. It might be
Yeah,
the same
so
one.
could have been the same one. Yep, yep. So this is a contemporary article. Yeah, back then. But here they're mentioning Tragically Hip. Yep. Rediscovered 6 songs recorded for 1991's apples they believe were road apples they believe were lost in the universal lot fire. So they found some stuff. Yeah, but that's what we've lost so much music and films and things. So when something like this happens in quote unquote modern times, you're just come on, how the hell, how could you be so stupid to have stuff that's priceless? I always help people with their computers, and you'd be surprised like how many people don't have backups of their photos. So like if you're listening to me right now, pay for that extra storage for Google Photos or Apple Photos or pay for like a backup. It's like I get so many people that like lose shit and they have no other backup. It's like, or pay for Carbonite or whatever. I don't get a kickback from it, but just back up your shit. I mean, and I got one person right now is a kid, had a laptop and the hard drive went out and lost everything on it. It's like they want to send it to recovery, but one of the main things is pictures, right? You don't want to lose those photos, so it's you always should have, like I have, God forbid, everything. I'm gonna jinx myself, but I have like a NAS server, and I pay for Amazon photo backup. I've got another photo site that I pay for, and I do Google Photos. So I have it like and I have computers that are syncing, so I have everything backed up. But knock on wood, it could still get wiped out, or like fires like we're talking about here. I know way too many people that lost everything in a fire, and then all their photos are gone, and all their albums, their music, their VHS tapes, their tapes. Yeah, it's all teasy. Yeah, it's all gone. Yeah, just totally all the so like the records are out, the albums are out, but all that work that went into making the album, it would be kind of like if you're writing a novel and you had all your show notes and not show notes, but like notes and references, and like say you've got a section, your footnotes and your manuscripts or multiple versions, everything leading up to that album is gone. So it's just and this happened, again, this was 2008, and they're still finding out things about it years later. So over here Rolling Stone confirming that Nirvana were damaged or gone in the vault fire. So Elton John, yep. So back your Tupac, yep. Back up your shit if you can, or just buy a thumb drive or one of those cheap hard drives, plug it in your computer, and then back it up. Yep. So that makes a big difference. Yep. Yeah, very sad. Yep. So and Don's headed out now. Yep. Good night, Don. Have a great week. Yep. And we did mention Peacemaker, so I had fun. Crazy. I was joking with my buddy tonight. I'm like, there's an orgy scene in Peacemaker. I'm like, Chris, do you rewind that scene a lot? He's like, no, there are too many dicks in it. So, and then I don't know why James Gunn thought that this had to Superman had to be released to streaming. There's zero. There's a couple of tie-ins, and they retcon.
Well, I think that was the point he was making, is that it wasn't his choice. If he didn't want it to, technically, but
okay,
it sounded like somebody convinced him that they should, and because I don't remember exactly how he put it, but he basically said that's out of my control, and I don't make those kind of decisions, unfortunately. But like, because initially that was the plan, I think, was to hold off on it. I think originally wasn't Peacemaker supposed to be a little bit later anyway, but they moved it up on top of it all.
They moved it up. Yeah, they moved it up. So then they moved up Superman coming to streaming. And as we talked about before too, it's probably making more money, but less box office, right? So, everyone's talking about how much, money did it make?
Yeah,
it's Man of Steel.
Look, at the end of the day, it will be profitable.
Yeah.
Will it be as successful as certain other films that people are comparing it to? Probably not, but domestically, it's done much better than I think anybody expected it to, and that's the part that most people aren't talking about, and that's kind of the money that matters more at the end of the day. Because here's something that like Odin and I get into it all the time about, 3 times the box office or 2.5 times.
Yeah.
Because for years I'm somebody who's always said, no. With these kind of numbers, you got to go 3 times the box office. And this is my point for that argument, is if you go back and look, when 2/3 of the box office comes in from foreign box office, you have to go 3 times. That's my argument, because you get less of that money. Now, if in a normal world where we used to get majority in the domestic and then the other third of it foreign,
just gravy,
is gravy, you can do it 2.5. That's the part that him and others never quite understood when I was trying to explain that. So now you have like a movie like Superman where it played that way, right? Like 2/3 of the box office is coming from the domestic compared to the foreign.
The foreign, yeah.
So in this case, a 2.5 times, it technically has broke even. And as far as I'm hearing, Universal, because we were just talking about them, Warner Brothers is very happy with it. Like, maybe not like ecstatic, but they're happy with it. And we also got to remember, none of the people that were around during the days of Man of Steel or Justice League or Batman v Superman are around anymore, really. So they're not comparing it to them.
Yeah.
We may be online, but they're not.
And the superhero genre's changed too.
Exactly. They're looking at it as, we got the #1 superhero movie this year.
Yeah.
That's the way they're seeing it, because Marvel's failed across the board. And this show, we'll see what the numbers are like. And again, I understand some people's gripes about it. I don't like how they kind of presented this idea of it being the next step in the DC universe. It should have been just presented more in a way of, check out Superman so you can jump into Peacemaker season 2 and still continue to advertise and remind people that Peacemaker season 2 is different. And that's one thing that I feel like, with as much as James Gunn is out there, the thing that he's hurting himself even more on now is not reminding people that we are going to be getting different things out of the DC universe. Some things are going to be for kids, some things are not, some things are going to be for families, some things are not. And see, that's the beauty that people forget and loved about this, the Snyderverse and originally, and that people just kind of ignore, was that Zack was able to go a little bit more harder edge with his stuff, for better or worse. Right. So like things like the Suicide Squad and stuff like that, I didn't mind seeing leaning a bit more R-rated, but like Superman shouldn't be.
No.
Batman, maybe you can lean into it a little bit more, but at the same time, I think hopefully James Gunn is smart enough to know this, and I don't know for sure, but just kind of the idea that I'm getting from what they're doing. The shows will never affect the movies, but the movies will affect the shows. So it's like when Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. came out initially. And how it tied into the Marvel universe, and how you never really had to see S.H.I.E.L.D., but you can. Like, I think that's what Peacemaker is going to be like. I know they're making a big deal out of it.
They had a big tie into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to Captain America, and it was just like one of the agents was on both, on the boat, or it was like a nothing burger. It was, it was hysterical.
It was because Coulson had the ship. That's all it was.
Yeah,
and it's a throwaway line in the movie.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Yeah, and one of the agents was the same.
And that's the only time it ever did that, and that was so convoluted and confusing that it didn't matter, because that's why in the movie they didn't even say anything, right? It was just like, oh, my friend was holding it for me. That's all that Samuel Jackson says.
Yeah, it's like, oops.
It's like, who's going to question it anyway? He's the head of S.H.I.E.L.D.,
right? No one's going to question Coulson, and Jackson, right? Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, if he just shows up with a fucking carrier, like, I mean, I don't think most of the audience has been paying that much attention to question that at this point. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., a show without superheroes. Yeah.
And I don't think that, I mean, I could be wrong, but I mean, I don't think this show is going to tie into the ultimate big part of it. And he's already kind of played with us a little bit, right? Because he made everybody think that this multiverse thing was going to be him, and how his way of getting, his Peacemaker into the Superman universe. But minor spoilers, it starts he's already in the Superman universe.
Yeah, right.
They pulled a Back to the Future.
Yep.
And they changed Jennifer.
They
3
changed. They
times.
changed. Yeah, so it's crazy. Real quick here, we got Mark's 47. Off topic. Dragon Con. Got to choose. Picture of Shatner or Christopher Lloyd. How about with both? How about Star Trek 3? But no, I would go with. I would go. I couldn't give up my Star Trek.
Enough of you.
Why don't we play that? I think. Where do I have?
I was gonna say, don't you have that one? Yeah.
Oh, I did that for Clobbering Times. Yeah, where do I have that hiding? I think I have it under this one here. Let's see here. Let's see. Let's grab Wrath of Khan. Oh, my eyes are going here now. Let me find it. Oh, this is all Wrath of Khan stuff. Sorry. That's when you need a producer behind the scenes, right, to play your shit. Yeah, well, I'll play this. Let's see. Do I have it under my Star Trek stuff? Let's see. Oh, maybe I have it here. Yeah. Oh, here we go. I got it. Yeah.
I have had enough of you.
That's when Clobbering Times said, "Can you put Wesley Crusher's face?" You put Wesley Crusher's face there. Yep. So
damn you, Wesley.
Damn you, Wesley. Yep. So that was the Clobbering Times.
Shut up, Wesley.
Clobbering Times love that. Yeah.
But no, I'm curious what you thought about the show overall. But
yeah,
no, to me, I thought consistent with the first season as far as its tone. I get some people are clutching their pearls a little bit on it, but
well, James Gunn is being James Gunn, kind of unchained there too. Like when he's doing a Superman movie, like you said, he's got to make that for families, and this can be his little sandbox to go batshit crazy, to do whatever the heck he wants.
I've even talked to a few people who are so uber religious that they were upset about some of the jokes that were in the Superman movie, for Pete's sake. Yeah. So I mean, I gotta kind of question some people. Like, look, it's going to be a veritable thing. But when it comes to this, I think by the end of the day, I think the whole point of this, the fun that he's kind of having with us, minor spoilers here with what's in the episode, and my speculation is that he's going to go to this alternate universe. He's going to fall in love with it. But the thing is our Chris, or the Chris that's the one that's coming from, the normal universe, he's kind of like Deadpool and Wolverine. Right? Like, he wants to be a good superhero.
Yeah, he wants to be a good guy. Yeah.
And I think
he's going to kill as many people as he can for peace.
Well, that's the joke, right? But like when he gets to this other world where his brother's alive, like I said, spoilers, guys, sorry, where his brother's alive and his dad's not a Nazi, or a skinhead, I mean, whatever you want to call it, white supremacist. Like I think he's going to find out there that version of Chris, because you notice, like, that version of Chris is psychotic as fuck. Right, and they even talk about him like he's crazy, right? Like, and what I think he's going to learn is through that he's going to kind of see how nuts he really is, and that's going to make him come when he comes back to the regular world, because that's everybody else's mission already. We can kind of tell from the previews and stuff, and that when he gets back to the regular world and he supplants himself back into his old life, he's going to be a different guy. Because he's already a different guy in this season.
He's changed. He's going to be. He's got character growth. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think he's going to be even a different, more tamer, nicer guy. Not so killy or shooty.
Not kill as many people for peace.
Yeah. From here on out, and I think that's going to be the setup for the end. And I think they're going to destroy that multiverse thing. And I think that's the other thing. That
they'll shut it down, right? Yeah,
I think so.
You can't have the. And what they'll probably do is they'll take some of the helmets or the tech. Yep. Oh, and Shifty's saying, it just, they did eventually have more heroes, and you love season 4. Yeah, there were some great episodes of the show, and I didn't finish watching it all the way through, but I did like some of the performances, and I did. It was a good. It got a lot of hate, but it was a good show. But Clobbering Times, you'd always kill me when I'd say, I'd watch the show. How'd you watch that show with no superheroes in it? But they had some good plot runs, and they did a lot with the minimal budget there. So I'd agree with that. So
I thought the first episode.
So I liked it. I liked it. I mean, it's just it's more of the same. I was hoping for the original. I was waiting, like, are they going to do the original theme song, which I love. James Gunn is that's part of his fabulous directing skills in terms of picking up these obscure songs or songs you might not have heard and that original song, which is so phenomenal, is that opening. And the new song is pretty good too, I thought. So they do that fun opening again. So I gave the opening a thumbs up, because that was one of the few shows where I won't skip the opening. Right, I've got my Plex server if I want to skip the intro, but it's, and the character has grown too, right? So he's trying to become, put up the minor spoilers.
I mean, I kind of did.
Yeah, but yeah, it's fine. But he's looking to become part of the Justice Game, and they'd retcon. It's not the Justice League; it's the Justice Gang. And I guess that was Supergirl there, right on the far right. You can't see that was Supergirl, Superman, and Hawkgirl, and Guy Gardner,
Mr. Terrific, and Guy Gardner. Yep.
Yeah. But in the episode, you really only get Guy Gardner and Hawkgirl. And they're interviewing Sean Gunn as Maxwell Lord, which I didn't like his portrayal of Maxwell Lord, relative to the comics. But they're interviewing people, and the mic is not working. So they're saying like, this guy's a real dick, or he's a loser or whatever. And then they're going through the interview, and Peacemaker's finally like, I can hear what you're saying. He's like testing the mic. He's like, can you hear me now? Yes. Can you hear me now? And they make a joke about like who they hired to do the audio for the mic, because they're like in a behind a interrogation room, and they're and then I guess my God, the rabbit girl who walked out, I must have mentioned her camel toe like 100 times. No wonder she ran out, but like adult humor like that, which is fun. That's where you're getting into Peacemaker. Yeah, don't let your kids watch this show. Well, of course, parental discretion applies, but yeah, young kid, this is not for a young kid. But what I do like is the character growth, and he's not just one-dimensional. There's a bad guy who's got a device. We got to find the device, and we got to beat up the bad guy. Harcourt, James Gunn's wife, is in this episode, and she's going through
that was a funny scene too, when they're like going through the whole like, you're misogynistic and you're all these other things, and you think it's going to pan to Chris.
Yeah.
And it's her.
And it's Harcourt. Yeah, so she's like, I have a vagina, I can't be a misogynist. And the guy's like, doing the woke lines, and I love it when you can make fun of that stuff, and you're surprised by that stuff. So it was that was really that was really fun. And then she goes to a bar, to pick a fight, and spoiler, she ends up getting her ass kicked in the end too, which I thought was fantastic. You expect, like, didn't you think in that scene like she was going to kill everyone in the bar or knock everyone out, and she finally gets her ass handed to her in the end, which is more semi-realistic, for what this show is the show is doing.
And I don't know if I'm the only one who notices this or I'm wrong, but like, because we were debating this a little bit on the Friday show, and I'm like, the thing I noticed about this was like, it's a situation where both Chris and her would have been fine had they just stayed together, right? Because Chris is making that effort when he comes over to see her. He clearly knows something's wrong. He fixes her hand, and he's trying to be this sweet guy, but she just basically blows him off instead of blowing him, right? Like, that's kind of where things go wrong. And if she would have just, like, the aggravation that because that was the thing, is like, she had kind of let out her aggravation. She punched the dashboard and everything was fine. But then after she has her little squabble with Chris that she kind of creates, that's when she goes out to get her ass kicked, instead of just getting screwed by Chris. Instead, had they just stayed, I think neither one of them would have wound, and I think that's kind of the point, right? Is that neither one of them would have wound up in the situation they're in now had they just stayed together in the first place.
Together for that night. Yeah. So that's a great point. I didn't think of that. I didn't catch. Yeah, but that's a point of divergence, almost like a timeline, right? Yeah. So and then Shifty says, it's not for any kid with that orgy scene. Yeah, weird having that even remotely attached to Superman. Imagine him flying by and seeing that. Golly, I hope they're using protection. Yeah, that was just. That's why I think what you're saying, Tom, is James Gunn didn't really want to have this moved up or tied, or Superman. There's no tie-in here, and
not really. The only tie-in is this, guys, is that they realize that, because now that little door thing that Peacemaker had in season 1, they've now expanded that to basically being the same thing that Lex Luthor had in the movies, right?
Yeah.
So inside there now is not only Peacemaker's stuff that his dad has done, but it's like a whole bunch of other doors and other dimensions, including ones that have other Chris's and stuff like that. And he comes across the door that has a bunch of helmets and stuff outside it, and that's where he steps inside, and he finds basically
the code is the same as his.
The code is the same and everything like that. And so it's like a perfect world. See, that's the thing. You can't just go in and out of any door, right? Like you just said, you have to have a code.
There's like an alien that's like disposing of like other little aliens.
Some rude motherfucker who won't say hi to me, and I say hi to him every time. So flags, like we first got this anomaly, like we got this ping like last year, and we just ignored it, but now we got the same exact ping again. The only problem is that ping resembles the same signature we got from the Rift, and he's like, we don't need another Rift tearing the Earth apart after Lex Luthor just pulled. That's it. That is the only tie-in to Superman. That's it.
Which kind of makes sense, but it's not a big. It's not a big.
No, it's a throwaway line, basically.
Line. Yeah. It does make sense, and of course, Rick Flag Sr. Peacemaker killed his son in the first season, or no, in Suicide Squad.
In Suicide Squad.
So he's out. So he's like all over him, like waiting for him to screw up or to do something.
And that's going to all come to a head too, right? Like, and this is just my predictions that it's going to be that he's going to be like, okay, by the time he gets to Chris, I think he's going to realize Chris is a different person than he was when he killed his son. And hopefully that'll resolve itself in a way, or one of them just going to have to kill the other.
Right. Yeah. Kill for peace. Yeah. But I mean, it's, if you like Gunn's humor, it's much more on display here. He's got that freedom
absolutely
to do that. It's just I like it. I mean, really, we always remember our buddy Clobberin times, but he did end up liking the first season too.
Did he?
Yeah, he did end up liking it. So he thought it was crazy.
I like that he's upset at Eagly, and that's how he finds the room in the first place, because like Eagly wants to go fly around.
Yeah, like that kind of humor is hysterical. I love Eagly. So Eagly, of course, if you haven't watched the show, it's his pet bald eagle. I don't think you're allowed to own a bald eagle, are you? But
not legally, no.
Not legally, probably not, right? They're protected.
You'd have to definitely have a very special license, I'm sure.
Yeah. So Eagly wants to go out for a fly, I guess. He doesn't want to think about it's too cold. So he lets him out in the multiversal room, which they've created now too. It's like this pocket. It's a TARDIS, right?
Basically,
it's a TARDIS, right? So
would it be? It kind of is, like in the sense that it's bigger on the inside than it is.
Bigger on the inside, yeah. With all these doors that take you to other worlds. So originally they did show it as like a big, huge thing, and James Gunn did talk about it in terms of. I like taking a small part of something and then expounding on it later on. Yep. Hey, Paulie's here. Says Mark gets better guests. Night. Hey, Paulie, great to talk to you.
No, he needs get a better guest. I think he's saying
get a better guest. I thought I said I have better guests. Oh no, he said
no.
Get
he's
better
talking
guests.
about me. He's trying to shit on me. That's
God. Yeah, I'll try to book someone better for next week. Yeah. Come on in for a few minutes, Paul. Then we'd have a better guest. Yeah. Just I thought it was it's a fun show. It might not be your sense of humor, and if it's not, but I didn't see, we always got to worry. Is it woke or is this crap? And it's just like enjoy the freaking show. And maybe it's got some messages you don't like in terms of content, but that's content or James Gunn's humor. But
and again, that's going to be where the mileage probably varies a little bit. And I understand some people feeling the way they do. I think my issue is those who are like acting like surprised by it, or like, to me, it's like, okay, you're pushing a little bit too much onto this when none of this is actually any different than what's in the first season, really.
Yeah.
I mean, in fact, they even talk about how much of a degenerate Peacemaker is. But the funny thing is he doesn't even really participate in that scene. That's where he kind of starts losing interest with his life there. Right?
Yeah.
Like, and that's
when
kind
he goes to open the door.
Yeah. And there's not as much gay sex in that scene as some people are making it out to be. Like, and look, this is honestly, I kind of laughed at, because I'm like, this is kind of like classic HBO. Because for you guys who don't know, like people used to swear that HBO used to have a mandate that you had to have nudity every so long in their original programming. And I think people have even said that, yeah, that's kind of true.
Yeah.
Because you would watch their stuff and it was like inevitably you would see tits and ass and dick and pussy at least every hour, half hour tops or less. I mean, like it was guaranteed.
Or, the rule was in our household, it was 6 Feet Under was on. And of course they had the gay couple in that show. And back in the day, we were fixing our house. We were living with my parents for like a year. And the joke was like, whenever the gay couple's having sex, the rule was Lucian, my dad Lucian, would walk through the room. What's the bullshit? What's this crap on? What are you watching? This degenerate stuff. This crap. This bullshit. Why is this crap on the TV? But it was always like, and we were like, we'd laugh. Like I'm watching with my mom and like everyone else. My dad wouldn't watch 6 Feet Under. And he's like, does he have a gaydar timing built into him? Like,
well, what's hilarious about
the living room
is as much fun as we poke at Skinamax is if you think about it, there was times where there's probably worse shit on HBO than there ever was on Skinamax. In fact, Skinamax is probably classier than a lot of the crap that was on HBO sometimes. Because I mean, honestly, HBO had gay sex and shit way before the networks and everything else had it on.
Plus, Skinamax that name stuck, right? Because it's just a great Skinamax, right?
Well, yeah, but all that was is because Friday and Saturday night they'd show like a 3 or so hour block or whatever of just softcore porn, basically, like the stuff that what's her face, who's married to Gene Simmons, and the Emmanuel movies, and, very mild and hot, and hot. Like the cheerleader, car wash movies and shit, like just the very tame-ish stuff. Yeah,
but it was definitely about the TNA though. But
and it's all about that. To where like HBO, you never knew what you were gonna get. Sometimes you get like Taxi Cab Confessions. Sometimes you'd get Real Sex. Sometimes, which that eventually carried over to Skinamax. But like, I mean, you would get some very like. I remember one of the first times watching HBO at like the age of 8 or 9. And not necessarily the news is on. And one of the first things that I see is some chick that's naked running around a baseball diamond. And my mom just going, what the hell? Like,
what's on? This is not Bad News Bears. Yeah, she's in her birthday suit. What's going on? Yeah.
You would see more nudity sometimes on HBO than you would on a lot of places. Yeah. But anyhow, I'm not trying to make excuses for it, but
but it's not. I mean, in the first season they had that when Chris goes to have sex, and then it's turns out that superhuman, the superhero girl that's trying to kill him, and I guess that fight goes down in the parking lot, and that crazy first scene, and he ends up killing her finally or shooting her.
Yeah,
it was this first episode or second, one of the, but it's just. But you're seeing him in the nude there, right? So
there's a lot of jokes where he's clearly like some sort of bisexual or something or other, because he makes certain cracks. Like he even made one in this episode where he's like, he says I suck dick, like I'm sort of good at sucking cock. Like that's not an insult, that's a compliment.
Compliment, yeah. So it's like but but
he's obsessed with all the weird shit that's like one of his little jokes throughout the whole first season is he's obsessed with the weird sexual deviances of other superheroes.
Yeah. So so it's just it's not your thing, but it's more of the same. And I thought, they got to move the story along too. So you're having him reflecting on his life, his dad, his brother's alive in this other universe. It's more of this multiversal crap too, where they can
not just
give
dad alive. He's
a totally different. He's a good guy in this.
Yeah,
he's a hero. They're heroes. Yeah.
And not only that, he's supportive of him, and he treats. And that's what I'm saying is
he's
like
the dad he always wanted.
Yeah, he's the dad he's always wanted. He's got the perfect brother, but then he's going to find out in this world that this version of Peacemaker is even less liked than the one in his world, I bet. Because of how like psychotic he is. Because like notice like when that scene, like we're just getting glimpses of like, because he's talking about if it wasn't for you, then this wouldn't have happened. And if he wouldn't have Chris wouldn't have went crazy and did all this shit and killed all the, like the stories they're telling already. And then when Peacemaker comes face to face with himself, basically, like he's like, I don't give a fuck who you are. I'm going to shoot you. You were some kind of shapeshifter or something. He doesn't even ask questions.
Doesn't talk.
He's just gonna blow his fucking head off. Yeah, like,
and usually
Chris
you
is like, wait, I can explain. You know, like
usually have the classic superheroes, misunderstanding. They fight and they and then they talk. But yeah, this Peacemaker is like, I'm just gonna kill you, motherfucker. Yeah,
yeah. He's like, I ain't gonna even think twice about it. I don't care who you are. Like, yeah.
But
that's what I'm saying. So I think we're gonna learn that version in that world is like everything bad Peacemaker could ever be, probably. Like anything more bad that we think about Chris in this world, that he's gonna be that much of a worse guy, even though he got the life that he thought he was supposed to have. I think that's the lesson that's going to be learned. It's a very like Wonderful Life kind of thing, I think, in a way, kind of a twist on that.
Yeah. But I
could be wrong.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to look. Yeah, because they're going to switch it up, right? It's not going to be. He's not going to be. Everything's not going to be perfect in that world. He's going to find out some things that are really screwed up, right? So,
well, and he's not going to be able to stay there, right? Because we're clearly the whole plot is to get Chris back. If you watch the trailer, and that's what Harcourt needs to do to prove herself. But at some point, I think the whole idea is that she's going to have to kill him, and then she's not going to want to do that. And I'm just speculating from what I saw in the trailer, and then she's going to turn against Flag. But like, we'll see what happens. But that's my assumption. But you never know; it could go a completely different way. I was assuming one thing and found out something completely different from this, and now I know why Nick of Echo Base is like, it's not what you think it is, but you'll see. Because my guy was also saying something similar to, is like, he was like saying this is gonna sync up with Superman, but I thought he meant that that's what they're using the doors for. Like, I didn't know they were gonna Back to the Future this thing. Like, just replace the actor and not say shit. Like, or the character in this case.
Yeah, we'll replace all replace that whole scene with the Justice League. Right, it doesn't exist anymore, and just do it. And Guy Gardner is hysterical in this episode too, and. Hawkgirl's funny too. So they're talking, that they're in that interview, their biggest scene, the interview scene with Chris is trying to become part of the Justice Gang. And but there's a lot of depth to these characters, which I like. So they're not just cardboard cutouts, right? There's humanity to them. So as crazy as this whole, show is, but it might not be for you. And I could see like, superhero people. Or if you're a fan of Superman and that clean cut superhero, he's not the guy for you, right? Or watch it and don't tell people you watch it, right? That kind of thing. It's like, oh, you're watching this, yeah. So we might have to go to confession after watching this, but Cena's a good actor in this too, right? I mean, he pulls off the drama, he pulls off the comedy, he's got the physicality, obviously being. Wrestler, he fits the role with his physique, but he shows some good range, I think, in this. So, I think he's. What do you think of his acting performance?
I don't really like him normally, but I'm starting to grow on him with this character because I hated this character in Suicide Squad. But I think that's why I think I'm starting to see the character's arc though through that.
Right? Yeah.
Like seeing, okay, this guy was a jerk before. He's starting to get a little better in the first season, and now I think by the end of the second season, he's going to start actually being more like a hero, a lot like the Deadpool thing, right? Like,
yeah.
We're
Deadpool finally.
I like him in this. I mean, as far as a person, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, you could almost argue he's getting to the point where, because it was like Hulk Hogan was probably arguably the most famous wrestler turned actor into a movie career before The Rock. But The Rock is like, I think more people think he was bigger than he really is. Cause I'm one of the people that points out though, if you look at his movies, the only time he makes money is when he's part of an ensemble. If he's doing a solo outing, he doesn't do very good. And Black Adam was his biggest movie. And if that's considered a flop, what does that tell you?
He's never been able to carry a,
not really.
Like
his
Rock,
biggest biggest movies are San Andreas and that other one that came out around the same time, and they both still made less at the box office than Black Adam did. So,
what was the one where he was the fairy godmother with his daughter?
I know the one you're
that
thinking of,
one
and that's probably his most profitable movie, actually.
Right? Yeah, as a kids movie, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the name of it, but that was like his first big breakout one. Yeah, but I mean, John Cena now, if you think about it, he might be more successful at the end of the day. I don't know if he's really opened many movies yet, but Tooth Fairy, that's
Tooth Fairy.
right.
Tooth Fairy. Thank you, Godzilla. Yeah. So, yeah, it's he's not like, and there's not many draws left, too, right? I mean, F1 with Brad Pitt. Is Brad Pitt the draw to F1, or is it just because F1 Formula One racing is so popular?
I think that one did, because of the racing. But Brad Pitt's a big deal.
He's a draw. He's a draw. Too.
He's still up there. Yeah.
But I'm thinking there's few and far between too who are big.
Actually
Brad Pitt,
and
Tom
stuff,
Cruise, and on the ladies' side, Jennifer Aniston for a while was there with her comedies. But like, who would you pick as like the biggest female star right now? I mean, it's tough, right? I mean, I don't know who would you say is a big, huge draw on the ladies' side. I can't even come up with a name that right now that I would say. Of course, Jennifer,
probably Zendaya,
Katniss,
or
Zendaya, or Katniss Evergreen, who Jennifer Lawrence, who was the first.
Jenna Ortega is pretty popular.
Yeah, Ortega, and with Wednesday being a huge success.
And Beetlejuice, yeah.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, that's the thing, is a lot of these actors haven't really been able to do anything successfully outside of certain things. I mean, like, ScarJo is probably, 6 is right about her.
Yeah,
she could probably open a normal film. I mean,
well,
that kind of goes along with what I was going to say, is sometimes these actors only seem to do well when they're doing like franchise pictures. And that goes along with ScarJo and Jurassic and Marvel. So,
and Jurassic's the big winner, other than an animated movie. Right? And I finally did watch it. I thought it was a good movie. It was a fun popcorn movie. Didn't have you seen Jurassic? Or Lilo and Stitch was really good too. But Jurassic World.
Jurassic.
I can't remember what you said about it.
Oh man, that movie! I tell you, it's not a bad movie. You're right. It's like, as far as a monster movie, it's fine.
Yeah,
but it treats its audience very stupid, and it's. I don't know how it's simultaneously a better movie than the last 3 Jurassic World films, but yet a worse Jurassic film than the last 3 films, because there's no park and there's no dinosaurs. And it has very little in common with any of the other films, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it feels more like a Jaws meets Aliens ripoff kind of, thing than it does a Jurassic film. Like, it was cool to see the T-Rex and some of the raptors and stuff in there, but like, I'm one of those people that I don't need a bunch of hybrid sauruses, right? Like, just give me the OGs. Like, to me, I get more excited when I see T-Rex or raptors than I do whatever this new dinosaur you've created for.
You
know what I mean? And I'm also to that point where we've never really gotten the movie I always wanted out of Jurassic anyway. And that is partially what we got in Jurassic World, but only for like 10 minutes. And that's where we actually have a full park full of people getting ate by dinosaurs, right? Like a whole movie like that. Like, all we get is like 10 minutes. Or we get a whole world full of dinosaurs, which again, only seemed to last for like 10 minutes in the last movie before this. And now they've kind of made it to where they only live in certain areas. But at this point, I'm like, I want to see Jurassic World War. That's where I'm at. We've gave the dinosaurs guns. We've taught them how to use them, and now they've turned them against us.
Now they're kicking ass, right? Yeah.
And now they're coming after us with like Uzis and rocket launchers and shit, and we got to fight them. Like that.
Yeah.
That's to me the next logical step at this point. You've been promising militarized dinosaurs for years and years and years and years.
Let's get them.
Let's see the shit.
Dinobots.
Exactly. Yeah. Freaking laser beams attached to their heads. But yeah, no, I mean it's a fun popcorn movie, like you said. I could nitpick it to death, but at the same time, there's a lot of stuff in it that I thought was enjoyable.
The family dynamic. The family dynamic was really good, I thought, with the young.
It was all right, but like my big problem with that was, what the hell are you doing sailing across the Atlantic with a little kid and 2 teenagers? Is beyond me. But
that was ridiculous. Yeah, they actually, what I did like in the script, they did say, "What were you doing?" And like, he's like, "Well, there's 500,000 boats, and there's only a few." But of course, you would have avoided the equator, though, right? So you would have avoided going there. So that was a valid point. The dad tried to answer it like,
And the
Just,
other problem
you know.
I had with that is it's almost like you could have done 2 different movies with this concept. Like, you already had enough going on with the ScarJo characters. You didn't need to add the family to the... See, that's kind of like Jurassic Park. That's the one thing that kind of does fall into the Jurassic Park trap, is that they always kind of have to have some kind of kid or family involved
Yeah,
in
you
somehow.
got family. Yeah, family. But I did like the little girl was a great actress in that, and the sister was
No,
good.
it's
And the
fine. I'm almost
boyfriend
wondering if they shouldn't have separated that out into its own movie. Like, you could have got 2
right?
Jurassic movies out of this. Yeah.
Yeah, like Lost and what was the old TV show with the Slee Stacks?
Not Lost World. Land Before Time.
Land Before Time, right? Yeah.
Is it that?
It was,
Land of the Lost. Jesus.
Yeah, come on, Mark and Tom. Yeah, but
Marshall,
yeah,
Will, and Holly.
Yeah, so it's kind of like that show, right, where they get stuck with the dinosaurs. But it's like they explain everything really simplistically, and we need to get the 3 vials of blood and XYZ, and the dinosaur has to be alive for some stupid reason to get the samples, and like the dudes they're gonna get eaten, and like the bad, quote unquote, bad guy, you're like, he's gonna get eaten last, obviously, right? So it's very predictable, but it was it was still a fun popcorn movie. And yeah, there were dinosaurs in it, but not as many. They have the T-Rex, great scene with the T-Rex on a raft chase, kind of copying the first movie. And then they had mutant dinosaurs, like they had this, what the heck, I don't know how they explained it. But like they're
the reject dinosaurs.
Yeah, they're like doing all these mutations on these dinosaurs, and they're like, well, why don't they destroy them? Well, they cost $75 million, right? To make a dinosaur. Yep. So, but yeah, it was fun to watch. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, and it wiped the floor with Superman. Yeah, it was. I guess so. That's the number. If I go back to Box Office Mojo, I guess it's
well, technically it did, internationally, but domestically Superman still beat it. But
right, I mean, if you do
but whatever, it's still not going to make $1 billion, but
yeah, 844 made 508, and that makes sense. It's more popular as a foreign movie. Everyone, Universal, right? But you'd think Superman would have that characteristic, but I guess not. So 257, so 346. 335. So very close domestically, but I had fun. I had fun with the movie. So and F1, Paulie Latino Slant, check out his channel for some great coverage of F1. He got to see a Q&A with the director, and he's got some good videos on his channel. So check that out with about F1. I think you had to be a member to watch some of the videos, but become a member to Paulie's channel anyway. But yeah, so we had some nice stuff, interviews, and those actors had to, learn to drive the cars at 180 miles an hour too, and act too at the same time. So I haven't seen F1 yet, but I got to check that out. Check that out next. So, but yeah, I thought that was good. Peacemaker was good. Wednesday I really liked. Wednesday's been good. And the biggest disappointment's Alien Earth, and that movie is just show. It looks great, but it's just and getting past the stuff with the kids and adult bodies and all that junk, or I shouldn't say junk, but just part of the story. Just the story's not well crafted. Even if they didn't have that aspect, there's way too much plot armor in that movie. It's got to be some of the biggest plot armor I've ever seen in a movie, unless they get into reason for that. That would be interesting. But yeah, it's just just hasn't been good. So we'll see. I'll keep watching to see if it gets better. But the story doesn't hold up, and it's just they've turned it a combination of like aliens meet Blade Runner. And the big mistake is having this set as a prequel or pre-sequel. As Hollywood's in love with all these prequels. It's like just set it in the future, set it past the the original aliens, and that would have made a little bit more sense. But it does look good. I do like the lead actress. I think she's good in it. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Let's see what happens with that one. Yeah. Let's see what's Oliver saying. I'd love to see actor Robert Pachter, who played Peacemaker's dad, be in an alternate world where he wears the police uniform in the T2 movie and suddenly interacts with Peacemaker. Yeah. Yep. And 6 is telling you to check your numbers, Tom.
She already corrected herself. She was looking at the wrong movie.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
yeah, like I said, it did do very well.
Yeah.
Jurassic World did very well, especially outside the U.S. It did $500 million outside of the U.S.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
and
too bad Universal only sees about a third of that. But yeah, like that's my point. Yeah.
And Shifty's really loves Alien Earth. So,
some people enjoy it, and that's fine. But I'm kind of
yeah.
with you, Mark, to where I'm like, I'm not a fan of all this cyborg / android stuff that's in it, because and I think I brought this up the last time, it goes against a lot of the stuff from the earlier films, and I was not a fan of the Ridley Scott stuff in Prometheus and Covenant, and to me this kind of leans more into that, and I haven't even seen Romulus because of that stuff yet.
Yeah.
To me, I would just wish this would have taken it back a bit more to the classic style, and if it was set in the future, I wouldn't care at all. Like, a lot of this stuff would just be like, whatever. I would just be kind of like, it's a little too heavy-handed with the robots, but whatever.
It would make sense if they said it. Yeah, this is the next step, or we've got to, put human minds in synthetic bodies to survive, an alien invasion. And I like the concept, Shifty. I do like the story. I do like the idea of the story, but I just don't think it's executed well. And Wendy's brother should have been chopped to pieces about 100 times over in that first episode. And the alien grabs him and takes him away. Like, why the alien's slicing and dicing everyone in these episodes? Why is he not killing her brother? Unless there's something we don't know about her brother that.
Yeah, so usually something about that. Yeah,
or he's already been impregnated with something. I don't know. I mean, there's got to be a reason they're not.
Or he's a robot.
Or he's a robot, but the lead guy is saying he's not a robot. So
that we know of, there's always going to be a surprise. There could be a surprise robot. That's the thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that's one of the reveals of the Alien. Remember, was Ash.
Ash in the end, yeah, he's a synthetic, robot. Yeah, synthetic robot. Yeah, yeah. So that's where the story is. I'm taking even if I take out all the, the body swapping or the synthetic stuff, I just don't think that it's telling a coherent story right now that stands up to that. I wouldn't say realism. Hey, it's a sci-fi movie with aliens, but just when the aliens got you in your clutches and this, it's a killer. Why is it keeping the brother alive?
Well, they do. Well, here's the thing. They actually never really do often kill their victims. We don't always see everything that happens because, as we learn from deleted scenes and other bits, they actually just take them and they go and set them up to be impregnated. So they almost kill them usually, or incapacitate them to the point where they're damn near dead.
They do that in one of the scenes.
I've heard that.
But the problem is there's a apartment where they're having this party with all these people dressed up as, it's a crazy party that's going on. The alien goes in there and slices and dices everyone in the party, but nabs the brother. So it's like, unless they're explaining something, or I don't know, that's just kind of drove me crazy.
That sounds odd. I get what you're saying there. Yeah. But I mean, like, they always kind of like, again, I haven't seen the new episodes. I didn't watch the rest of the second episode, so I cannot really comment on it. But if you're enjoying it, that's cool. I just find too many damn holes in this, and I'm not interested in a show about, the super teen cyber force, or cyborg force or whatever.
Yeah, the brother was the brilliant actor, but yeah, so the alien skewers this guy too at the end. His tail goes through him, and he ends up somehow surviving. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, the brother's kept alive to set up a nest. There were eggs. Yes, but why didn't they grab everyone else? Maybe I'm nitpicking too much, Shifty, I guess. But I don't know. It was just too convenient with for me with the plot armor. And I just don't think the story's unfolding well right now. Maybe that'll shift in a few episodes, but
the writing wasn't very good from the start, from what I could tell. It's very
choppy.
Well, they're doing a lot of the existential bullshit and the existence of man bullshit that's really been done to death and a million
Peter
times
Pan
over.
stuff, yeah.
All that kind of business, yeah. And to me, I think I said this last time too, was my issue with this is Alien's never been about humans questioning humanity. That has never been a part of that. That came in later with the whole Ridley Scott bullshit. It never should have been. Because that's not what Aliens is about. Aliens is about this existential threat, right?
Yeah.
We're not the problem. Right? Like, that's the thing. And they're trying to make us the problem or somehow make humans imperfect in this story in some way. And that's not the point of the story. The point of the story is this outside thing coming in and infesting us. And if at most, Alien is just an allegory for biological or nuclear warfare, right? They're basically a weapon that got away from
mutual
their creator.
assured destruction,
Yeah.
The doomsday machine, yeah.
So in that respect, they don't really, the only side that they really kind of, you really even get into that is like the whole idea of the company. And the thing is with the company is it's always been kind of treated as like this distant thing, the man, right? Like these people that are controlling and doing things beyond our sight and sight. Even Burke has that separation between him and the big people of the company that we never see, right?
Yeah, it's
like,
a nameless, yeah.
Yeah, and so in that, like the humans, even in the worst way, where it was like people like Burke and stuff like that, were always treated like, you know, they're the only ones who were greedy and wanted to use the aliens in some other way were usually for one reason and one reason only. Like all this robot stuff doesn't fit. Like the only reason Ash had anything to do with the alien is because he was, you know, ordered to maintain a specimen, right? That's really it. Like even Bishop is the opposite of that, right? Like he was there to only serve the humans and whatnot. So like again, like, and then you get the Winona Ryder character down the road and stuff like that. But to me, it's always kind of been this other thing that's kind of there, but it's not a main point of the story, and it's getting to be too much of that. And when you're getting to like the idea of aliens taking over Earth, this is something that's been set up in these earlier films as a big deal, right? Like this is the thing that if this happens, it's literally game over, man. Game over.
Game over, man.
Like,
that's why we're saying, like, if you just set this 5 years after Alien or 10 years later.
Because even Ripley says if one of these things gets loose, right? Like, I mean, she makes it very clear of how, and that's kind of her job. We learned from the first movie was that she was the one that, you know, said in that, I think that's only in the director's cut, or maybe it's in the original version too, where she doesn't want to let him back in. She just wants to quarantine him because it could put them all at risk. And she was right. If she had just, if they just went by protocol, none of that shit would ever happen.
Let's just nuke the planet. Yeah. Yeah, because and the Shifty says here, Ridley switched the point because Fox mishandled the xenomorph. Said they turned the creature into a random slasher villain that pitched Pepsi at one point. Yeah.
And that's what it's supposed to be. I hate to say it, but that's what it's supposed to be. It is Freddy Krueger. It is Michael Myers. It is the Shark and Jaws.
Yeah, it's just the ultimate evil. That's just evil incarnate. It's got no redeeming features, and it's just it's a bug.
Even trying to kill it could kill you.
Yeah, with the acid blood. Yeah, and that's the other thing I didn't get. They kill, Wendy kills one of the xenomorphs, and there's like acid for blood, and there's blood going everywhere. But they didn't explain, like, they're transporting the creature and the blood's going out. It's like, well, we have a special acid resistant, stretch or hover cart or whatever. It's like,
that's convenient.
Like, shouldn't this be burning through burning through everything? So I just don't think it's just not a neat package right now in terms of how it's going through things. And then you've got like there's two, with the kids in these synth bodies, the boys are acting like total morons and idiots, and like this Wendy girl is acting like an adult already at this point. So it's like, well, why do they have the two boys acting like complete morons? Wendy should be freaking out a little bit more too, and they don't flesh out her characters, or she's allegedly, is she more intelligent? She's got a supercomputer, but the boys don't, or the other two characters in this third episode are acting like complete and utter morons when the security guard from the ship that had the aliens is trying to recover the aliens for the company, Weyland Yutani, and they put like a bug on one of these so we can listen into all the conversations. Of course, I'm like, shouldn't they be able to detect this? Or maybe it's a high tech thing. Okay. But the interaction with them, it's like he realizes like, oh, you're just kids, and in these synthetic bodies, and he realizes, oh yeah, there's human minds in there, but I don't know, it's not consistent with the way the other characters act too. And of course, girls, yes, are more mature than boys at the same age. We're much more idiotic, I guess, but it was just the way they had them act was kind of off-putting too. But I'm going to keep watching it and see where it goes. But yeah, some people, like you said, Tom, some people are loving it, but I'm just the story's not holding together for me. And yeah, I would have loved to see like just the Space Marines, or like you said, just the original character, some of these original characters or people that dealt with it, like an all-out fight, save the Earth, right? We got to wipe out the bugs, kind of like a Starship Troopers kind of thing, but they're adding all these other elements, so we'll see how they
yeah, I mean,
I know
together. I know it's set up that like only kids, I guess, can be transferred into these bodies, which is just stupid. But anyhow,
or they're just experimenting with them because they're expendable, I guess, or they're
no,
dying,
they flat out say it in the first episode that
only
I was
kids
reminded
can handle
that.
it.
Yeah, because when I brought up my point before, and I'm like, I get that, but it's like, what the hell's the difference at this point? Everything's Deus Ex Machina in the show anyway. But like, yeah, I thought it would be more interesting to set this like 30, 40 years post Aliens, where you have like these grizzled old Marines that are like, hey, I lost a brother. Hey, I lost a friend that went on that mission. Right. And at that point, Ripley still wouldn't even have been found. So they had no idea. And I could have seen the company at that point sending out a group of people to go basically be infected and bring back an alien. That makes sense. Yeah. And then the stupid thing crash lands right in the middle of a city. Oh, perfect. Just exactly what you need to happen. Because that's the thing is you can't really hide it now. And I know they come up with this convoluted thing like this, the company's own, like controlling the city. But that's the other thing is they've added 2 or 3 new companies to this mix now.
There's 5 companies in total now.
Yeah. So I'm like, what the heck? Like that. Yeah. I mean, that kind of goes against anything. Like, let's be real. In 50, 60 years from now, Amazon and Walmart are going to own everything. So,
yeah, they're going to own us. Yeah.
It's going to be those 2, and that's it. Like, and that's what it's going to be. So like at most, you're going to have Wayland and 1 other company. Right. So yeah, you don't need all
this company is it's a new company too. They're like, oh, it was and they said it was an AI
Prodigy,
AI,
and you have
it was an AI company, but they said this is Prodigy is the newest one, which was interesting. So they were that's what I found, because they're saying it's it was based on AI, or the guru, the guy that's the guru, the guy that acts like unfortunately acts like an idiot half the time, I think. That's supposed to be the super genius, the quote unquote Elon Musk on Earth now.
He seems kind of like a mix between Elon and what's his face from Facebook,
Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, kind of a mix between the two. Yeah, at least that's what I got from him.
Yeah, but nothing that's like, oh wow, I can't believe how smart this guy is, right? Nothing good there. So, but. Yeah, we'll see what. And so Shifty said the boys are younger. Also, they're simulating adolescence for them. They state they'll flip the switch later on. Yeah, they did have something where they said they were trying to age them slowly, I guess, so it wasn't too much of a shock. But wow, they're acting like morons, and that and the girls seem. I guess, but Wendy was the first one too, so that's a good point, Shifty. Yeah, so. The way they're aging the kids too, and I guess I kind of was jaded against the show too, so maybe I was, sometimes you get negative on a show and things start pissing you off, and but I do like the Sydney Chandler. I think she's pretty darn good in this, so we'll see. Oh, DJ Ronnie G was lurking later, folks. Yep. The ending of this week didn't play out like most think. Wendy's being terrorized by the demon bear, aka the hive mind. She can hear it and now see it. Yeah, so she wakes up from her coma and she's getting affected by I guess they're experimenting on some of these creatures, so she's seeing what it sees. So that all right, well, we'll see what next episode brings. Yep. Walmart bought out Wayland Yutani in Alien Resurrection. Yep. And Prodigy won't be on board. Boyd Cavalier is Peter Pan mixed with Charles Xavier. Yep. And yeah, Disney and Google Tesla, maybe Walmart will own the Earth later. Yep. Take care, TZ. Yep. All right. Well, let's get out of here. Tom stayed for an extra 5 minutes, which turned into 2 hours because we have too much damn fun here.
Yeah, I'm way behind.
Oh my god! Oh my god! So. Oh god! I'm killing you. I'm killing you.
It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah. But why don't you everyone watch Midnight's Edge in the morning?
I might make it to the morning show. I don't know. I might be
hope
working
so.
on...
Oh my god! Blame Mark.
So...
God damn it, Mark.
Yeah, no, I needed a little bit of a break anyway. It's been a long fucking list. Like everything is just like I don't even have the time to get into everything. I need a vacation real bad, and I'm going to need a vacation just trying to get to go on my vacation at this point.
And then you're going to need a vacation from your vacation when you come back.
I might.
That's what happens.
So, all right. Well, thanks for having me, Mark, as always.
Thank
it's
you,
fun
Tom.
to hang out with you. And,
awesome.
Appreciate it. And take care of yourselves. And hopefully you see me on the morning show tomorrow. And adios, mi amigos.
All right. Get on out of here, Tom. Thank you. Yep. I'll do some food stuff now that Tom's we'll make everyone hungry at 3 a.m. But let's show some of the recent foodery. We'll do real quick foodery. There's not a ton, but I did make some ribs a couple weeks ago. Yep. Good night, Oliver. Yep. What happened to the Tyrell Corporation? I don't know. Yeah, we'll see what happened to them. Yep. So let's see here. Let's go through some foodery real quick. So we got some ribs I made for the poker game. Got some flank steak. Great on the grill flank steak. Easy to cook. Very easy. Yep. Damn it. Now I'm starving, of course. Yeah, this won't make you too hungry, hopefully. Yep. There's some tuna steaks. Those came out really good. Nice, healthy stuff on the grill. Yep. Tuna steaks. And the colors up on the flank steak there. It looks a little bit too pale. I don't think it was that rare, but yeah, I love flank steak. Yep. There's a tuna. And there's something really healthy. Clobberin times are not like that. Look at all that green broccoli there. Yep. And look at all those healthy vegetables. Yep. Come on, Mark. What you doing to us? Oh my god. Well, just go right to bed, right? That was my healthy omelet I had last week. Some sushi, poke bowl. Yep. So I've been trying to eat a little bit more healthy, but then of course my friend did bring dessert, so I tried to avoid all the desserts there. Damn it, bringing all those pastries from the Italian pastry shop and cookies. Yep. Want to avoid those. Yep. All right. So I made these tonight. Some more bacon wrapped meatballs. I had some left over in the fridge. So yep. So yeah, those came out good. Yep. The bacon wrapped meatballs are good. And then this is a fish dip, the white fish dip. And you have a jalapeno. Man, that's good. Yep. Those are that's really awesome. Yep. And I made some shrimp tonight, some sea bugs. So that's my marinade. I had marinated for like a couple hours. Oh, these shrimp came out really good. It came out really good. Damn it. I have to make scrambled eggs, mix in a hot dog or something. I have no bacon. Sorry. Yeah, so and don't overcook your shrimp, right? No, don't overcook your sea bug. So you just cook those on the skewers there on the grill. And then yeah, but only it's like 2 minutes on each side. Yeah, don't overcook your shrimps. You want to do that. You want your shrimp. I'm gonna move next door to you. I have good neighbors. So, but yeah, it's always good to have good neighbors. Yep. Some grapefruit soda, Villa Italia. Yep. And that was dinner. Everyone brought a dish tonight. Yeah, so we had skirt steak, shrimp, chicken, squash, some pasta there. So yeah, so it was a good dinner. And my wife's friend, she loves plants and flowers, so she did a nice job. She brought those just picked flowers from her garden, made a table, put that on the table. Yep. So nice job. And this is funny. This was I gave. We went to Switzerland. We brought some chocolate to give to our friends, and we had a party. And then they like, oh, we didn't finish it, so they brought it back. So those are the best gifts, right? When you get to have it back. Yep. So yep. Oh, and RJ got said, oh, unfortunately, allergic to shellfish. That sucks. I'm sorry, but yep. Thankfully, I'm not allergic to the sea bugs yet. But every day's a block party, Marc D. So we're ending the summer in style here. So yeah, it's up in the Northeast here. We've only got a few more weeks, and it starts to get really damn cold. So, but so that's our pool club we go to, and just it's not a country club. Yeah, you got to cook your own food. It's just but it's a really nice location, and it's fun to hang out, and everyone meets there. So it's a fun, really fun spot to go to. But God, this has been fun tonight. So yeah, thank you to Tom for hanging out with me. Thank you to Courtney. Shout out to Steve Mitchum, who couldn't be here, who's sometimes on the panel, and actually updated my membership channel video to thank all the members. So let me just play that. And again, thank everyone who supports the channel. And yeah, there's a little bit of work here on the YouTubes, but it's really nice that people give you that tip or that thank you. And if just being here, that's enough, right? So, but extra thank you to those that are actually channel members. So let me play this thank you video. Hope this works. Let's see. All right, well, I got to slow that down. That flew by really fast. I got my Premiere skills, right? But thank you to everyone who's a channel member, and thank you to. Let's scroll back a little bit. Thank you to RJ Godzilla, Marks 47, TZ Burton, Oliver Belamonte, Shifty. Thank you to DJ Ronnie G. Thank you to RJ Godzilla, Stephen Mack, TZ Burton, Donnie Power Ranger was here. So Stream Element Spot, Captain Finity 6. Thank you for hanging out with us 6. Let's see who else was here with us tonight. Let's see. Captain Finity, of course. Thank you, Captain Finity. Mark's 47. I think of course, the great Paulie, Latino Slant. Make sure you sub to his channel. He's got amazing coverage of everything Hollywood. There's Donnie there. Let's see. As I'm scrolling back. Let's see who else was here. Oh, Wes Cagle, of course. Thank you, Wes Cagle. Let's see. Phantom Outsider, of course. Dead Man. Oh, that for super chats tonight. Thank you, Dead Man, for your super chats. Super appreciated. And let's see as I scroll. Let's go. Sometimes just going back to the beginning gets me. God, we had a lot to go through tonight. A lot of people here. Lenrod was here, of course. Void King. Let's see, who else am I missing here? Let's see. I did get Captain Finity. I got Dead Man, of course. Brian Barth. Yeah. Let's see. I think, and I did say Lenrod. Yep. Brian Hepburn, of course. Yep. The channel member as well. Thank you, Brian. All right. Keely Chow was here. And of course, JT Kirk. Claude Salin was here. Gap After Dark. And Tim was here. All right. I think I got everyone. If I didn't, that's just because my memory sucks. But thank you, everyone. It was really a lot of fun tonight. And coming up for the week, I got some couple of toy reviews I'd like to do. I've got a couple new shorts I put out. Check out Mark Hamill versus Pedro. Got Milk, Who Did It Better. So check that out. Fun short that I did. Should have put a poll on that. Yeah, who did it better? But yeah, I've got some new toys to show. I did get the. We'll talk about the Star Trek tricorder. it seems like a lot of people that wanted to get one didn't get one. So there's been some controversy about that on the interwebs. I was lucky enough to be able to get one, but I can see why some people were ticked off that they didn't get one. So we'll be talking about that. But I think the wand company did a great job. It's tough to come up with these limited run products that cost a lot of money to make, but and how do you gauge the interest, right? You don't want to sell, if you make way too many, you go out of business too, as they said. So, but we'll talk about that a little bit next week, or if I get to my tricorder review. But again, thank you everyone for hanging out with us tonight. Have a great week, and go check out all these. Check out Alien Earth. I'd still say it's worth watching, although I'm not giving it good reviews right now. Red Sonja is fun. Peacemaker is more of the same craziness, but they're doing a good job with the characters, I think. So it's been interesting. So check those all out. Wednesdays, thumbs up too. Enjoyed that first half of Wednesday. So I guess that second half drops soon. So check out those shows. So we are getting some good stuff these days, which is nice. So all right, everyone, have a great safe week. And we will catch you on the next Sunday Night Geekery. Good night, everyone. Yep. Take care. And let's see, where's my confounded outro? Here, let's play a few clips before we go. Yep.
I just love clobbering time.
Your agonizer, please.
Klingons do not allow themselves to be probed.
I like you a lot.
Oh, and I forgot to mention one of my good friends who is no longer with us. I did want to play this. So this was his toast at our wedding, and this is just typical Rob's. This is my good buddy that passed away. So this is his toast at our wedding. But I always want to remember Rob would have been his birthday this past week. So here's Rob at our wedding.
And to Mark, we say, live long and prosper.
Of course, yeah, that's I've been a Star Trek fan a long time. That proves it, right? That was the wedding toast. But all right, a couple more clips here.
You have to set an example, leaving in the face of stupidity. Now, everybody that reads comic books knows that Kirby's Silver Surfer is the only true Silver Surfer.
Kneel before Zod!
All right, take care, everyone. Thank you.
Fun storming the castle.
It's 106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
You're still here? It's over. Go home.